Good evening, Mega City. Tonight on the Brockton Bay Book Club. Are your time bubbles popping? Call in and find out. I just had a cat run by me and scare the ever-living daylights out of me. Anyway, welcome to the Brockton Bay Book Club podcast, where we are reading through J.C. McCrae, aka Wild Bow's Ward. Those of you who are reading along, this week is Arc 12, the first half, which was Arc 12.Z to Arc 12, or I'm sorry, to Chapter 12. All. So, first half of Arc 12. Quite a lot to unpack here. A few things. Welcome to the first stream of the year. We are going to be moving over to Mondays from now on.
No, we're not.
Nope.
No, we're not. No, we're
Sticking
not.
with Tuesdays.
Just this time?
Alan shouldn't be in charge of
I shouldn't be in
announcements.
charge of this.
It's okay. No,
I was
all right.
so excited to be moving over to Mondays.
Oh, were you really?
I really was, and I'm so upset now.
He's sad though.
Nope.
He's sad though.
I'm
No,
so
sticking
sad.
with Tuesdays. Sad.
Okay. Well,
I mean, we can talk about that if we need to.
if
we
you
need
want to
to.
commiserate with me on why it's not on Mondays anymore, I guess you could do that over on our Patreon Discord channel. Subscribe to our Patreon channel for only $1 a month at minimum,
Yep.
or you could, there's many tiers, one of which, the never been reached one of a kind, so limited supply gold morning tier, because you needed worthy investments. So go on over to there, and part of doing that and discussing things with us and sharing memes is adding to our bingo, which we'll be playing tonight. Link is in description, and you can contribute to that. And so we're gonna have a good time. Let's get into this. It's been a while.
Been a minute.
How many of you had trouble remembering what was going on?
I reread my notes and the arc summaries from Arc 11 to get back into Arc 12 because I
Smart.
definitely did have a moment of like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, I made the mistake of reading.
I glanced at them, but
Yeah.
I
read like the first chapter or two like a month ago, and then of Arc 12, and then did the rest of the reading like over the weekend. And that was a mistake.
Gosh.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
My problem is I've been reading Pale at the same time, and so I literally put off Ward until last night, and then this, of course, reading it right before podcast.
Yeah,
because I just wanted to keep reading Pale and didn't want to read Ward, and the feeling remains the same.
It was strategic for
Fair.
freshness in your brain.
yeah.
You know.
Well,
it wasn't
we'll see
being
about that.
put off to the last minute. No.
Yeah.
It was
exactly.
strategic.
I mean, as you all know, I always wait till the last minute because I need it fresh so I can be very upset or angry or joyful or whatever it is I need to feel. I need to feel it immediately. So I read all the chapters today. I put it on the podcast. I put on the audiobook and listened to it all day, which is, fun fact, it's about 7 hours.
Wow.
Yes.
Hello, those of you in chat, J-Man, Fran, Truett, great to see you. We are so back. Where am I in Pale? I had trouble for a year. I was reading Arc 1, and over Christmas break, and now I am in Arc 10 or 11. 10, I think. So,
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Nice.
All right. Well, now we've gotten that exercise out of the way. Let's talk about overall feelings about the first half of Arc 12. Initial impressions, Nick.
I don't know. I feel like I tend to be one of the more optimistic readers in the sense of like, oh, this was interesting. Like there are parts of it that were good and exciting. But then something about this, and there's good stuff in this section, don't get me wrong, but something about this first half of this arc just felt so down. And I think part of it is that we come off of arc 11, Victoria literally asking, "Do I have permission to kill people?" And then they just get their asses handed to them.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And I'm like, "Oh, no." Just I don't
Mhm.
it's so disappointing, especially with who's with them and the extra people they got with them and who ends up saving them in the end. I'm just like, uh, uh,
Oh god.
I don't know. It was just it felt this is the first time I really struggled to finish the reading. Like not just in the sense of like running out of time, but in the sense of
Right.
like
Yeah.
Will to
I
live.
would be like, "Oh, I have time to read Ward. I should do that." I have time to read Ward. I should do that. I don't know. Maybe it was coming off of a long break, but I just felt like something shifted in the energy and it was hard. I don't know. That's me.
That's hilarious.
Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those sections where I do really start to understand and sympathize with a lot of these sort of general criticisms of Ward. I think are very evident in this. It hurts because we are reading like half an arc at a time, so it's really hard to like give a better overview because Wildbow really does write the arcs as meant to sort of be a bit of a cohesive
Yeah.
narrative. So it's we're doing ourselves a little bit of a disservice there, but it is what it is. We can't read 100,000 words in
Yeah.
2 weeks. And he is like, I really do think his writing improved, like his writing technique has improved a lot between Worm and Ward. Like as I'm reading, I fall into his style of prose that I just really, really like.
Mm.
But I agree. I think at this point in the story, our heroes have been beat up so much. And like, yes, that's the world, and that's sort of the story we get as we're reading, about these characters in this world. It's very there's no clear black and white, everyone can get hurt, yada yada.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you want a little bit of victory for the characters you're following
Just a
in
morsel.
some capacity. Yeah. There was a sentiment in one of the chapters, like one of the comments. I do like to kind of skim the comments at the end of the chapters as you're reading them.
Mhm.
And I'll paraphrase it because I can't remember exactly, but I really it encapsulates my issues with this first section, which was like reading when your heroes have plot armor, the plot is really dull. The stories are really dull. When your villains have plot armor, the stories are infuriating. It's just kind of how it feels a little bit here. Like, who the fuck is March?
Yeah.
We don't give a shit about her. Like, we've known her for all of like an arc and a half as a background character in a side characters cluster.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna come in here and manhandle our heroes, their allies, including like S tier, class 12 capes of themselves, Arms Master and Dragon, and they've all gone into this fight prepared and ready to kill, and then just get like obliterated. It was really frustrating to read, and the arc isn't over, and I'll let it play out, and we'll get thoughts out as we go through it, but it's frustrating. It's a hard story to read at this point.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Quixote is the commenter you were describing.
Nice
Shout out.
Talking about she keeps winning. Writing is hard, but March is lame, diabolus ex machina. She keeps winning against heavy hitters that she wouldn't based on any reasonable assessment of the continuity from Worm. It can be dull when heroes have plot armor, but it's infuriating when villains do.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Hannah. let's keep it
Okay.
general, because we'll get into specifics
Okay.
later.
Yeah, no, okay, so generally speaking, I love Worm. Worm is great. I read it twice, once on my own, once for the podcast. Absolutely love it. Stand by it. Ward, I have not been enjoying, and this couple of chapters fell into the same problems I've been having, which is just actually no, worse actually. Just I don't care about the characters. I we've gotten to a point now where the big moments, the punchy moments that happen, they don't punch for me anymore. Because it feels like we're just drowning all the time. I actually disagree with you, Jacob. I like Wildbow's writing in Worm so much better than Ward. And I think it's because, and you guys know me, I do miss a lot of things sometimes. Didn't know, I'll miss stuff and I'll be like, what happened? Anyways, but like, I feel like Ward has had me so many times be like, I don't know what's happening, and I feel stupid for not understanding what's going on here, and feeling like I'm like there's something big thing that he's alluding to that I'm just missing somehow. But then we all talk and it's like, no, I guess that feeling has overall kind of blanketed over everything, and that really sucks because I really love this world, and I do really love these characters, at least our team. And these chapters, yeah, I'm tired of losing all the time and feeling like you said, like we have all these top tier people and we're getting absolutely nowhere. And I have some other specific comments that I'll save till we get to those points. But like overall, I find Ward has become such a chore to read, which is such a bummer because I did not feel that way with Worm at all. Worm is, I'm dying to read the next bit. I cannot wait. And of course, there are like slow and fast moments in Worm, but Ward to me has just felt like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. It doesn't feel like the pacing makes any sense to me. And these chapters have been like the worst of all of the things that have been tough for me.
I will say too, I wonder if part of it is as a writing style thing and pacing thing for the plot. I feel like Skitter Taylor, she was always a fairly proactive protagonist. Like even though she got thrown into situations, it always felt like she was planning. She was thinking ahead. She was like, I'm going to be one step ahead of people as best as I can. Whereas Victoria really does feel a lot more reactive. It's sort of like stuff happens to the group
That's true.
and they just happen to be there. Like the whole goddess thing, like they didn't I don't know, like they didn't really plan for that to happen. They just happened to be around when the goddess thing happened. Like it's kind of how it's feeling, which makes me almost feel like maybe a different character who was more proactive or just a slightly different writing style might have been more compelling. I don't know. Maybe that's not accurate. Maybe I'm misremembering Worm, but I just feel like Taylor was always like thinking ahead and like, okay, I've got a plan. Oh, stuff's gonna, like people are gonna come and mess up my plan, but I'm gonna react. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna do this. I've got backup plans. I don't know.
She didn't
Taylor
just
felt maybe more
react.
proactive. Yeah. She just felt more proactive, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
Like
interesting.
even thinking about like the behemoth fight. Like if we think about the behemoth fight where she's coming up with a plan, like how do I utilize these people to help take down this massive monster? She didn't choose for Behemoth to come and she didn't go chasing Behemoth, but she proactively went after Behemoth.
Yeah.
Something about this just feels like, oh shoot, all of our friends have been taken. Oh shoot, this has happened again. Oh shoot, we got to deal with
Yeah.
this, But kind of like
Right.
you said, it's just like we're drowning in loss.
Yeah.
Victoria is
wonder
the
if-
true lord of loss.
Also, if I could address, Talia, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please ask. And any statements you want to make that are wildly uninformed, absolutely put in the comments. We do not care how uninformed
Have
your
a great
opinion
time
is.
in chat.
You go ahead and just make
Go
it.
for it.
Cheers.
I feel like yes. I also feel like Victoria has such a heavy hitter power. You know, she can fly, she's got the wretch, she's got this emotion power, she's got all these big heavy hitter frontline kind of powers, and Taylor did not. But she utilized her powers in a really creative way. So every time she came up against a new bad guy, it was always really interesting to see how she fought that bad guy. Victoria's is all like heavy hitter frontline, and so she does the same stuff over and over, which is understandable because of how her power is. But because of that, I find any fights very boring. I don't find them interesting or unique. And like she's very good at like assessing people's powers. You have all that like mental knowledge of powers and how they work, and I think that's very interesting. But when I'm in the middle of a fight, I don't need the analysis of, you know, this and that. Now, the thought process of why hitting this person with this specific attack will work, that's cool. When she utilizes the wretch to like swing a beam, that's cool. But like I just don't
Yeah.
find her creative in her powers. And that's probably because she's never had to be. She's always been like, me hit strong, me take bullet. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think too, like, because of that creativity, I feel like I can think of multiple fights that Taylor had where I remember specifically how she won or how she dealt damage to her opponent, right?
yes,
With Victoria, I'm thinking back to the fights they've had, and I'm like, I don't like there just aren't that like memorable
they're not
moment, right? Like
memorable. Yeah.
there's not the, you know, slicing echidna in half with clock blocker moments, or the gumming up mannequin with spider webs moment, or
So cool. So
um,
cool.
you know, or the lightning rod help, you know, with help made from Gollum moment with Behemoth, you know, like stuff like that
Right.
where I'm like, I can name like very specific moments and how she used her powers to get there.
Yeah.
With Victoria, it is kind of a moment of like, how did they beat that person? But also there haven't been those same kind of fights. So I don't know if that's a fair
No.
comparison, right? Like we haven't had
Right.
a
Yeah.
Leviathan, we haven't had a Behemoth. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think,
It's tough.
and Nick, in your regards to your protagonist, you know, reaction thing, I think is very important because a protagonist, by definition of name, is your person choosing to do things. Your antagonist is, you know, like typically the person. I heard somebody talk about like, you know, the reactionary versus actionary characters and how your
Mhm.
protagonist and antagonist bounce off that way. Like, you know, typically you don't have reactionary antagonists, or if you do, it's a yes and. Your villain does something, your hero reacts to it and does something back. And then the villain
Mhm.
reacts to that and does something back. And Taylor did that all the time. The whole Coil situation at the end is forced into a situation where they have to be reactionary and then chooses to go after him. Like
Yeah.
it's a back and forth. Victoria and her group are already a very reactionary force just by being, you know, sort of on the Ward's good guy side. That's just how they are generally. And they just get, oh, we're getting thrown into this situation, and at best we resolve it. We don't like
Yeah.
and this was their one opportunity as a whole to we've you know reacted to it, we've set it back to neutral, and now we're going to choose to go do something, and it feels like it just gets stymied the whole way, so they're not actually getting to do
Yeah.
the thing the one
Yeah.
time they're trying to take action.
And again, yeah, I think coming off that energy of like, okay, we're gonna go, we've got permission for lethal force, you know, we can
Yeah.
beat some people
Yeah.
up. And then even then it still feels like Victoria's like, actually, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't kill people.
Ugh.
Like it feels like it just
I,
gets
you know,
yanked back
It's like good
again.
I
for
miss the
them, but
villains. I
still.
miss hanging out with the Undersiders because the Undersiders were like, "Oh yeah, let's kill him,"
Yeah.
and Taylor was like, "No, guys, like I miss that. Like let's be villains. Let's go."
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or at
And,
least
like-
just like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Heroes
I
got
mean,
to do what heroes got to do sometimes, you know.
yeah.
Boo.
Throughout all of this is simply the fact that Taylor as a character had an arc. Like, yeah, she was. I mean, she has that part before the Leviathan fight where she's like, guys, I can't do this." Like, she's like pouring her heart out. I can't be a villain. I can't handle all of this. You know, arcs later, literally assassinating people and shooting babies. Like, she had this arc of change, and I don't think our characters in Ward have changed like hardly at
No.
all. There's been so little change. The most we've gotten was probably like Rain, honestly, and his bit of confrontation with the Fallen. And Victoria has changed a bit, but comparably not enough.
Yeah.
And so
I
that's
would argue most of them, with the exception of the Capricorn siblings, have had small changes.
sure.
Yeah.
that's
Sveta-
there's been some change.
How much of that though is just us being revealed things about them than actual them on page growth? Because I feel like my opinions of them have changed throughout the story, but only because of the information we've learned. Like
I
not
think it's
because
on
they've
page.
grown.
Yeah,
I think
don't
we've
know.
seen. I think we've seen
Rain at the very
Sveta
least we've seen.
develop more. I don't know what to
Confidence?
call it. Like confidence, yeah, like almost like go to like independence, but I mean not fully. But there's like
Yeah.
small growth that way. I think Damsel has
recently with her.
100%. Or I'm sorry, Swan Song
Yeah.
has definitely
That's fair.
softened
Swan Song's
around the
probably-
edges.
That's fair.
Yeah, J-Man, right in time. I think that Kenzie has made. It's been a 1-2 step back and forth, but
Sure.
I think she's made a lot of things about just controlling herself and not
Yeah.
uh,
The
Ju-
the
uh,
issue
was- you
is
know,
the issue is right
Mm.
that they're making changes towards being healthier people, which are just by nature less interesting.
Well-
see
Well-
I hard disagree, but that's also
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. I
Um,
just
I mean you're not entirely wrong, but I don't like that as
from
much.
from a story perspective, they often can be, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we've definitely seen some character growth, but it does feel
Sure.
like maybe there's not, at least at this point, for Victoria and friends, the arc of where Wildbow's trying to take them hasn't been fully clear. Because it almost
Yeah.
feels like he almost wants to do the same thing he did with Taylor, which was the person on a good path willing to do bad things for a good cause. And how far does that person go to try to do what they think is right? Where Taylor ends up becoming a villain. And it feels like he keeps almost putting Victoria on that same path. Like even that last chapter where they're like, I don't know, should we kill people? And Victoria's like, I think we're gonna have to kill some people.
Yeah.
It feels like, okay, cool. Like let's put her on that path. Like maybe not as a villain, but just like I'm a hero, but I'm gonna kill you if I need to kind of person, which is cool.
Right,
That's
that
an
moral
interesting arc.
struggle.
Right.
That moral
Yeah.
struggle, and then it just kind of gets yanked back again, where it feels like maybe
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe we'll see more. There is a lot more to Ward, obviously.
There's so
yeah.
much more. Yeah.
So
well we're
we'll see.
I think we're past the halfway point. We've
Oh, boy.
got 8 more arcs after this. And then
Okay, I just had a thought.
yes.
Yeah, I thought.
I don't. Okay, so you know how with almost any book, you throw out what the problem's going to be and how we're going to tackle it. With Worm, it felt fairly simple, fairly quickly, fairly early on. Taylor wants to be a hero but is stuck pretending to be a villain in order to try and help the heroes. And by the end of the first, big section, you have an Endbringer. You know, what is that? The 8th arc 8?
Yep.
Mhm.
You have an Endbringer. And Ward is like, okay, so Victoria helping out this group of misfits, and something weird's going on. Okay, well, we've solved the weird thing now, and the group is there. So now what? What is, I guess, broken triggers supposedly are gonna be, but like it doesn't feel like I don't know what we're ramping up to, and we're more than halfway through. Like I don't know what we're doing here. It feels like there's just more things that then, oh, also don't forget there's more things. So like once we handle the March situation, there's plenty of other things we can handle, but it's like it's all just kind of like here and here and there and there. It doesn't feel like it's all going somewhere.
It's interesting to that point how, Worm, I think we all agree, correctly gets a lot of praise for being sort of a reconstruction of superhero genres, but is still very tropey. Like there's a lot of very classic storytelling tropes in Worm: the reluctant hero, prophecy, the unkillable
clones.
evil clones, right? The fallen leaders, like all this kind of stuff is very tropey, and Ward really doesn't have there's not a lot of tropes, which is a really fun challenge, I think, from a writing perspective, to try to avoid falling into traditional tropes. And if there's anyone who could do it, I like Wild Bow would be on that list for sure. But I think you can run into these issues where it's like, sure, you don't want to telegraph what you're doing for your readers, but at the same time the readers have come to expect certain things, and if you're going to deny them those things, you've got to justify it really well. And I think that's probably where it's falling short. I don't mind being denied a trope. I think that's really fun, but you gotta you gotta match that with a resolution. And again, we got a long way to go. I'll give them a benefit of the doubt until we finish the whole story.
Yeah, I as ranty as I feel right now, I love Wild Bow's work, and I'm struggling with Ward, but like that's not gonna stop me. And like when we finish Ward, we'll do another one. Like we're not gonna stop because we really love Wild Bow. So like anyways, I did read some of the comments on that last chapter on the all interlude.
We'll get to that.
That was the only one I read the comments on, and they were like going hard, and I agreed with some of the things, but also at the same time, like a lot of people were like, I'm done reading Ward now. Like this was the final straw. And I'm oh, well, I'm not at that point, but like, I'm going to keep reading, of course.
I still have to know what happens next. Like
I gotta know.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, so like all of my snarkiness with the grain of salt that is, I mean, I love Wild Bow, so.
That's fair.
Oh yeah. Clearly, because here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I remember reading this for the first time, and I remember not necessarily what happened, but I remember thinking that arc 12 was probably my most hated arc, and now I remember why. Like this was the one that tested me, and I remember entirely why.
Yep.
Yeah,
well,
and I've never read any of the comments before, and this was the first time I was like, I think I need to go read the comments on this one, because I remember reading this the first time and being like, what? Just what? Overall, we'll get, I think y'all saw a lot of, a lot of stuff I already thought.
We'll see how we feel in a couple weeks. We'll see. And at the end of the story, it'll be very interesting, because we may change our tune completely. Who knows?
Never know.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it chapter by chapter. A little unusual, starting with an interlude. First time an arc has ever started with an interlude in either Worm or Ward.
Okay.
Wow. Really?
So,
wow.
Interesting. Well, there you go.
12Z, Nick.
Arc 12Z, Interlude March. Flashback to March's trigger, learning of Flechette, and meeting their third and Goddess's cluster, while she and her crew enter Brockton Bay in the present. I will say this was an interesting interlude in the sense that I liked learning more about cluster triggers. So the way that how every cluster now we know has very different behaviors. So Rain's cluster is very unique. Not every cluster has like a night dream room where they all meet together. Because it seems like her cluster with Flechette and Homer, who we find out about in this arc, they not only have similar powers, but they share like negative attributes with each other. So she's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, sometime," like March is like, "Oh, I must have." He's Homer says something like, "Oh, you must have gotten my drug addiction," or something like that, and like they each got like weird little personality quirks from each other, right? Which was
Which the
interesting.
bleed
Yeah.
through was hinted at with the other group. They,
Yes.
because I assume
Yeah.
this is something that's been studied, they assumed that they were getting natural bleed through like
hmm
Flechette's group, which is just everybody
Yes.
took one aspect of themselves and handed it like off to the right.
Yeah,
And,
you can just
Homer got
rotate.
essentially like stability from Flechette.
Yep.
Flechette got Homer's addiction, and or not Flechette. March got Homer's addiction, and Flechette got her like I don't know her drive.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Exactly.
so
Which was funny. Versus like Goddesses, which is more similar to Reigns, except it is literally like, "Oh, it's my day. I have all the powers now, and I can tell you all what to do."
Right.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting, and it makes sense now. Like, okay, how did Goddess convince a group of capes to do what she wants? It's like, well, it just depends on the day, and clearly,
and it's my
ultimately,
day
like she can
forever.
control them. And now it's my day forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um,
Hmm.
so which is very interesting. I don't know. The psychopathy of March is also very fascinating too. Of just
Mm,
like this weird obsession, and I don't
yeah.
know what. Yeah, very odd character.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
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 It and maybe this is a good time. We'll touch on this a little bit now, and then we'll touch on this a little bit at the end. But in this chapter, what is her motivation?
What an excellent question.
For going to Brockton Bay,
Like, no.
or
For
just in
like
general.
literally
doing any of
freaking
her stuff.
anything.
Honestly, I get a lot of like Joker, like Heath Ledger Joker vibes, where it's just like, I'm an agent of chaos.
The
It's
chaos.
like,
Ugh.
Some people just want to
just
watch
want
the
to watch
world
the
burn.
world burn.
World
It
burn.
feels a little
But
bit
Love
but
like
we
it.
already
that.
Oh
did
my
that.
god.
We already
Uh,
did Jack Slash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I mean she says it very briefly, the whole thing of like when she's on the platform and she's looking at Foil, and she's kind of having this moment of like, or she's looking at, I think it's Foil, and she's like looking at her clothes and her life and kind of like having this moment of like she can be free, and she's like looking at the two unhoused people on the platform who start the fight, or the one lady who starts the fight, and she kind of has this moment where she's like, well, at least they're free to do whatever they want. Like I'd be
yeah.
fine going hungry for 6 days out of 7, if as long as on the 7th day when I eat, I can eat whatever I want. So like it feels like every choice that she makes is finally this idea of like that hand on her shoulder is no longer there. So she can just be like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And she does.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking more so like
I think
she says kind of what she wants, but I was just trying to figure out everybody's interpretation of it.
Oh.
yeah, I think freedom is a big one, right? Because it is that, and maybe that's why she's so obsessed with Flechette. Is she's like, I'll never be truly free until Flechette's hand is
Mm.
off my shoulder, so to speak, controlling me in some way. But it
I
it
was
did
going to say that she
feel,
wants to be
yeah.
one with Flechette. That too, I
Yeah.
guess.
That too, yeah. She wants to be Flechette. We did get that vibe as well.
She wants to be in Flechette's skin. She wants to wear
Yes,
her like a
she
coat.
wants to wear her like a
That was
coat.
weird. That was
Like it's
ah.
for those of you who know, it gives kind of some strong Evangelion like
Mm.
Well, and
melding type
there's this
thing of like,
weird,
let's just all be
yeah.
one, you know?
Well, it's this weird too, feeling of like she's like, if we do that, then not only will we be alive together, so to speak, but when we die, we'll still be together forever. It's like she has an awareness
Yeah.
that the shards are kind of eating away at their personalities, and if she can bring them together, then her and Flechette can be the same person forever, basically. Um,
Mm.
which is a disturbing way to think about
Yeah.
things. And yet, I don't quite know how that leads her to where she is today. I think that's still kind of the missing bit for me is like, okay, I get that creepy, but I get it. That gives more like stalker vibes though. That doesn't give like now I'm a crazy villain who's going to destroy the world vibe.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
I was wondering. It's like, okay, so we'll just, simplify. You want to become one with Flechette. You would have done that with Homer, but, he did.
Mm.
Because you want to never be alone. And this is like the ultimate way in life and in death. I mean, she describes it as
Yeah.
shard heaven.
Yeah,
They'll
and
be
we
together
know
forever.
we do know kind of from Snag that there may be something to that. Snag and from
Yeah.
Glycygwinier, Valkyrie.
Yeah.
But there may be something to that of sort of the shard heaven. You get to live on forever inside of the worm.
And clearly there's something
so
going on with
weird.
okay. You know what? No, I'll hold off on this. We'll discuss the rest of that part at the end because I
She
have a
crazy.
theory about shard heaven. And yes, and yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Interesting things here. I tried to take note on all of Goddess's cluster. Just out of curiosity. So there's Goddess, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Blonde one. Got it. There is Tori, the tractor beam, which we're assuming getting. All right. Hannah's, are you already on to what we're going to go for? All right.
I think so. Go on.
There's Megan, the battery pack.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Who was like in prison. We're guessing is the battery pack in prison as well.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jace the shield.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's Yasmin, which is separate, I believe, from the brunette, and the bald guy who is not Bill. Does anybody remember what number they gave for how many were in Goddess's cluster?
I do not.
Weren't there
remember,
5?
actually.
I believe there were 5. And even if you subtract, like, oh, well, so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, so-and-so, that's still 6. I think Wild Bill miscounted.
I did
Or-
wonder that, but like also chalked it up to like maybe Hannah misunderstood because I assumed at one point that I was like, well, maybe it's not all of Goddess's cluster. Maybe it's like some of them are Goddess's cluster, and then like Megan the battery and Jace the shield are not from Goddess's cluster, and they're like tacked on but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many
I thought-
names and people and things and planets and interdimensional realities. You've lost me.
I was
Yes.
gonna say I thought you were counting towards different parts of the Death Star from Star Wars and how they all become the Death Star when they're united.
No. They
Got
become
tractor
the
beam, shield,
they become
the
Voltron.
battery.
Voltron.
I love that so much.
You just need a laser
Oh my
beam.
God.
I mean, yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, I was counting Beefaroni. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the battery was separate, but Megan constantly gets talked about as like this charge up battery pack that like the battery that they talked about. It's not that she provides a new power. It's just that she supercharges kind of whatever you've got going on, which is how the battery pack in Goddess Prison was described.
Who knows?
And of course, they're cluster people, so of course all the cluster people hang out with the cluster people. So who
Yeah.
knows?
It's a clusterfuck.
Yeah, big old
It is a
clusterfuck.
clusterfuck.
Let's see, Tori.
That's what March wants.
She can now hit on her girlfriend March because now she's, to quote, old enough. Gross.
Is that what she said? Yeah.
That is what she says.
Forgot about that. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. Because we
no.
assume they met probably 4 years ago when March was 16, and now March
Ew.
is 20, and I was very not gross. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I like the another thing. I maybe this was maybe this is a goddess thing. Maybe this is just color coordination thing with blue. But when they the blue, I believe the 3 goddess cluster mates all wear blue. One girl has the blue, and they even mention instead of where there would be fur on her blue coat, she has chains. For I want to say Megan. And then they all have the bunny handprint on them. So like
well,
bunny
they all have some sort of bunny thing on them because not everybody has the bunny handprint.
Jace has the shield with the bunny Sauron handprint like over a couple places. Also blue, like distinctly Jace, Megan, and Tori all have blue outfits is what's like the big thing mentioned for them.
Maybe it is just the 3 of them who are in the cluster.
It is because I thought it was going to be everybody.
Then maybe the others of them are just like friends of theirs.
Bill.
Well, Bill, we downed Bill. I'm pretty sure. Bill.
No, that's what I mean though. So if there were 5 and you have Goddess, Bill, and the 3 of them, and Goddess,
and the rest of them are just like friends who were there, maybe.
Yeah, but there's also Yasmin,
and
who's.
Does she have a power though?
Hold on.
Ah.
I'll without so.
Anyways.
So that's the thing. I had to look up Dino and Enyo because I'm like for the Gray twins because I'm like that's too interesting. And it reminded me. I did not know this is what they were called, but the Gray twins are traditionally the Gray. 3 sisters are what we associate with the image of the Fates. The 3 sisters that all share one tooth and one eyeball.
Right.
They're not the Fates, but that is the imagery we usually associate because the 3. But they're 3 hags that share the tooth and the eyeball, and they tell Perseus, I think, how to defeat Medusa.
Yes.
So, but this is 2 of them, and we know that they did something to the 3rd. We're assuming ate them or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love it when we can just assume that they ate them.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
welcome to Wild Bill's world.
Everything else we've seen.
It seems quite likely, in all honesty.
Nothing phases. This doesn't phase me anymore. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
Right.
Of
Okay,
course.
here, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down real quick. So we've got Goddess, aka Bianca. We've got Tori Heflin. We've got Bill the Blood Priest. We have Yasmin. We've got Megan.
Okay.
And we have Jace.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be 6.
That's 6.
And the rest are just the homies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I'm going to assume then that Yasmin is the brunette and the bald guy is Jace well, I think they were talking about Bill, so it must be Jace.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they're just multiple descriptors, but we're talking about the same person. Okay.
Yeah. But that is 6, and I'm almost certain that they said 5 or like earlier in the story. So.
Well, is it possible
at this point
that they don't know about the 6th one?
What I was thinking is it possible that earlier in the story they said 5 because they'd already offed Bill? So there were 6.
I think
Bill wasn't considered
offed one of them first.
Yeah.
Somebody died pretty early on.
Somebody got it.
Yeah. Somebody died.
Okay, but wait. But if somebody died,
one of the cluster mates, presumably Bill, lacking powers, eventually committed suicide.
There you go.
Without spoiling too much for myself.
Was Bill not the blood priest?
That was Bill.
Killing
Bill.
I thought Bill was the blood priest who was like rampaging, or that's what I.
Bill was the
I
blood priest, but then I think somehow Bianca stole all of his days, so he never had powers
okay.
anymore, and as a result, he
Okay.
killed himself.
Gotcha.
That is what
Okay.
Woof.
that is
Okay.
what
All right.
occurred.
All right.
Gotcha.
Brutal.
Wait.
Books.
Somehow Bianca took over everybody's days, and that Bill was so sad he had no powers anymore. He just couldn't handle it, or
I
something.
mean,
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
it is pretty rough.
But yeah.
Okay.
Anything else on
Let's
12.z on the interlude?
Yeah, let's move on from like the weird,
Nah.
stupid
I'm
tangents
good.
and numbers that make no
Fran,
sense.
we'll get to criticisms
that
of the
thought.
writing
Hold that
at the
thought.
end.
I will say I do agree with you more on arc 12, Hannah, than any previous arc where I felt like I wasn't sure what was going on all the time, but here we are. 12.1. The teams plus Vicky's parents pull themselves together to go after Love Lost, Cradle, and March in Earth N with potentially lethal force, but the battle in Brockton Bay is lost. So, I was hopeful until the end that something didn't happen, but my hunch was like, oh, Vista got off screen. That sucks. That's
Oh,
oh
I
no.
I hadn't thought about it at all. So when it, later that not a good time.
Yeah.
So that's ooh.
I do want to shout out two things. Mother Ball is a hilarious move. And that was great. I did love that.
I do like that a
was a
lot.
plus.
That was fun.
Nothing like Victoria kickballing her mom into a crowd of soldiers or in a whatever she
Right?
does with her.
Right?
It's
Getting to like
fantastic. That was a
actually
blast.
hurl her as hard as she can, which is just that's got to be like
And then-
cathartic for the soul.
And
To
then
just, like,
I
chuck
noticed
your
this.
mother.
Exactly. No, especially with their relationship. She's like, I may
For
have kicked
good.
her a little harder than
good.
I intended. Like,
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
a good
Absolutely.
reason. Yeah. The other thing I noticed from this arc too is that Rain keeps getting attention from random female characters. And
It's so funny.
Well, he's like
Somebody-
a cutie dude.
yeah,
So
well, somebody commented there.
He's a
Somebody's like,
sad
"Why is
sack."
Rain getting all this attention?" And somebody, Pizza's Good, commented, "Rain's new breaker state, stud, only visible for those who are looking for action. Victoria's immune for now, so she doesn't realize what's happening."
I do
That's-
love the audiobook version. What's it? Robert, I guess, is the narrator, the primary
Rain.
narrator.
Yeah.
Also
Rain.
Rain, yeah.
Robert Rain
Uh,
Ramsey.
Who does a fantastic job, and he's
Mhm.
very
he's so
consistent
good. Oh my
with
God.
with the voice, character choices he makes for his characters. He's
Yes.
very consistent, but the voice he's given Rain is this, I think appropriately, but like a very, very nerdy sounding, like just a little bit of a wimpy voice. And so,
Like,
'cause he is-
actually,
and so there's always so funny whenever there's a little bit of that, like Rain, like
That's
really got Rain is the player. That guy.
I think
Great.
it's so great.
It's
so
because they
fun.
can
Listen,
because everybody loves a
Listen.
sad puppy dog that you can take home and put in a little put in a little
mean, it's
cardboard box
just
with a towel.
it's just impressive he could turn the character I was convinced was a dog lesbian. Like, you know, I was like, dang, you even got the dog lesbians flirting with you, Rain. Like, how you doing that?
Wow.
Yeah, he does
Because
have
he
an aura.
looks like a sad dog. That's why.
He does look like a sad
Because he looks like a sad puppy.
He is a sad
Oh,
puppy.
bless him.
Yeah, I mean,
Bless
everywhere
him, poor
Rain goes,
Rain.
it just plays Charlie Brown music.
just
You can just hear
perpetually.
the Christmas time is here.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Accurate.
Poor guy. Ugh.
Ooh, yeah. Let's see.
Wow.
Go ahead for the kill
What a
order. That was cool, getting the kill order, being like, I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
I'm not
and then
I'm not saying no either. Yeah.
yeah. And then she Victoria flying above their camp to do like a scouting, like see how many people. And all I could think is because real villains never look up.
I do like how she internally differentiates her parents' like actual names and their cape names, and she'll
Uh-huh.
internally call them separately depending on like the front that they're putting on, and she interacts
Mhm.
with them differently. It's kind of sad, but it's really interesting. Like that's where her relationship with her parents are now.
Yeah, I feel like she also well, I mean, I feel like in general, she does that with the team too. Of it, like if they're in like
She
private,
does.
she calls them like Kenzie, but like even in her own head. But if they're out and they're doing, Cape shit, I think
Yeah.
she in her head too. The name change switches.
I don't know.
I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna say she calls her dad, and she calls her mom the maternal unit. At one point, she's like, "I looked over at Dad, and the maternal unit."
That's funny.
That's
That's
great.
I looked
100.
over
You
my
know that's
loving
what there's.
father and my thing that birthed me.
That's 100% what her contacts for them are like in her phone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Maternal unit.
It's dad and other parent.
yeah.
Yep.
It's like Papa and Carol.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, 12.2.
12.2.
Instead of all of our notes. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
The notes will ramp up.
Yeah, the notes are all
Yeah,
for
they
12.Z and 12.0.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, yeah, I actually my notes went way down as the arcs went on until the very end.
Yeah, I have more notes later. Is it point one where she has the thought about how she hates their public displays of affection, her parents?
Oh, when they're
remember.
like her dad like holds her mom and she's like
That's later. That's later where he
Yeah.
catches her in ball form and then she pops out in human form and they're like he's like holding her and it's like super cute or whatever. Ugh.
You still got it.
I think well at one point he has his hand on like the small of her back and like Victoria like looks over and is like it's
She loves her
love
dad
that.
and she doesn't want him getting him back into a bad situation.
None of us do.
Yep.
Run
Really.
away.
Mark.
We used to have this saying, don't stick your dick in crazy. But I have a new saying for Mark, and it's don't stick your dick in toxic.
No, I hate it so
Yeah.
much. You might be right, but yeah.
You guys
Also,
ever think she
Beefaroni points
used the
out.
mother ball move in bed? Anyways.
Oh,
No.
oh my gosh. I mean, first off, absolutely. And second,
I mean, they
oh
call
my
him Flash
God.
Bang for a reason, right?
Right?
Like,
And he can make the ones that don't do anything,
Imagine
they just disappear. Where do you think those go?
the realization if Victoria she notices her parents are calling out like team moves in combat.
Oh
and just
no.
realizes they're just all their sex positions.
No. No.
I've heard these before.
Oh
I had to do something to bring it to that point of the night,
Yeah. Thank you.
As Beefaroni points out, Victoria has in fact called members of her team by their names in public. She called Byron and Sveta by their actual names in front of villains.
Okay.
To be fair,
Damn.
for Sveta,
Yeah.
I don't think she has much of a secret identity.
They were trying to
Right.
call her
No.
Tress, but Lord knows that hasn't stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Honestly, I
Sveta is the
forgot
one
they were calling her
exception to that.
Tress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's like Wells.
Sveta's she goes back and forth with Ashley / Swan Song and Rain / Precipice. I feel like pretty regularly, and even like Byron, Tristan, Capricorn, she goes back and forth with that. But Sveta is just always Sveta. I feel like, except for the one arc, they were trying to make Tress a thing, and it's like, stop trying to make Tress a thing.
Trying to make the Tress the thing. Honestly, I forgot her name was Tress. If you had asked me, like, oh, what's her cape name? I would have been like, it's not Garrot. And I wouldn't have known.
It's Sveta.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Have we
12.2?
moved to 12.2 already?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
let's
I'll read the summary.
go for it, Nick.
12.2.
Yeah.
12.2. The team gets a pair of number boys as backup, get filled in on the situation in Brockton Bay, Damsel and Brandish argue about Marquis, and the group falls into a trap. I just want to say the backup was visually described, and I immediately was like, "It's Numbermen. It's little Numbermen.
It's Number
It has to be.
Boys.
It's
The
Number
little
Boys.
teenage number boys.
Little harbingers."
Yeah.
I did like
Great.
Victoria's little
Love it.
reaction when she's like, "Wait a second, are you guys?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're harbinger clones." And she's like, "Oh." And
Yeah.
they're like, don't.
And
like,
Ashley's
we
like, my
understand."
brothers, let's go kill some people. We got a kill order. We can Slaughterhouse 9's back on the road again, baby.
Exactly.
We got two damsels, we got two harbingers. Let's go kill some motherfuckers. And then they don't.
And then they
Ah!
And I do have to say, I just praised Rain's narration in the audiobook and his character choices. I will have to critique his character choice for his voice for the Harbinger clones. Because those boys sound like just preppy, like snooty math geniuses. And he went for like sleazy scumbag voice. I was like, no.
He got very nasally with it, so he kind
Yeah.
of talked like this, which like
Which does link
kind of
it
close
to-
preppy.
Yeah.
But-
his voice
See,
is
I
more-
imagine it's slightly younger. Because we're doing twins right now, so it's Hikaru and Kaoru, but they're both
You can
dressed
always
up.
do twins.
It's Hikaru and Kaoru, but dressed up as who's number 2 boy with the glasses? For those of you who watched Oron High School Host Club, you know who I'm talking about. Like they're
I'm
dressed
sorry.
up as
What was
it's
the
not
question?
Kyoyo-san, whatever his name is. Our number 2 guy who's like the ice cold mathematician.
Oh, mom.
But it's-
do not understand.
Cheeky as those two. So
Yes.
Kyoyo
Sure.
senpai. That's
Sure.
yeah.
No, it is Kyoya. It is Kyoya.
It is? Yeah, so it's Kyoyo
I had to say
senpai,
it
but
I had to say
Cheeky
it
is
in the
Hikaru and Kaoru.
Kyoya.
All right, who has a better voice? Go ahead, do it. Let's hear it. What do they
Oh.
sound like, Jacob?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot for voices.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I was
Yeah.
gonna go like the the whole anime route, anime antagonist route. You dare, like you threaten me. Like that's how I'm thinking his voice.
Yeah.
It's
No,
very-
it's-
Can it just be Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh?
It is Kaiba, but I think Kaiba, but slightly whiny is perfect
I'm not
for
familiar.
those.
Someone should do the voice.
Kaiba is like, Yugi, I brought you here to duel.
That's perfect.
You can't, Mokuba, get out of here. You're useless as a brother.
That's perfect.
Except you got to pitch it up a little bit because they're both,
They're
very
young.
that confident, but they both got that nasally, like they're constantly pushing up their glasses at you. But they're sprezzatura. They've got their whole like the shirt unbuttoned, collar always undone, blazer thrown over haphazardly but calculated.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. I was just gonna hang out here all day and maybe do some math.
Yes. Yeah.
The Harbinger and all the clones are they're doing all the acrobatics and flips, but like with their hands still in their pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I don't want to lose my TI-84. Not that I need it. And then
Oh my
talk like this, and then my favorite line, like, no, we do everything together. Oh, 2 boys? Oh no, there's 5 of
no.
us.
There's 5 of
We
us.
get
Oh,
jealous.
We would get jealous.
We're a package deal.
Okay, listen. Now they are minors, so I will say that. But I will also say
Pause.
that I read a lot of fucking smut and a lot of why choose reverse harem nonsense. And
All
when
right,
they
chat,
were
and we
like,
can clip that.
oh no, we get jealous, and there are 5 of us. I was like, there's a book for this.
Yeah.
There's an audience for this.
We get jealous, so we
It's
all
me.
have to,
Ian says
I'm not
that
gonna lie,
we need
y'all
to,
all know what meme my brain went to right as soon as they were
Jeez.
like, no, it's a package deal. There's 5 of us. Chastity was like, my word.
Bless Chastity. She's like, oh.
You were thinking of a specific meme.
You know which meme.
I'm
Is it
scared to
the
ask.
couch?
I'm gonna move
Oh.
on.
Is it the couch?
Which one?
Um,
No,
Yes, it is.
wait,
Nick.
involves
Yes,
the
it
couch.
is. Yes, it
I know.
is.
wait, which one?
I thought about making it. I
The couch
didn't make
with
it.
5 nice gentlemen behind it and 1 girl sitting on it.
5 nice gentlemen.
Anyways, Ian says for Patreon goal, we should redub Worm. And that sounds like
it's
a lot
Danny
of fun.
DeVito every time. We're gonna get cameos of. That's where all the Patreon money's going. It's going straight to cameos to get Danny DeVito to read out critical, like very important Worm lines.
The narrator. Yeah.
Take that, you worm.
Imagine cameoing and just like 2 minutes of a time, and just paying for cameos for the entire read through.
That would be expensive. I would love it though.
But I believe in the worm.
If I win the lottery, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs.
Wow, it's I can't believe Ben Affleck reading his coin.
Yeah. Inspired.
Also, you said Affleck, dude.
I believe it's Affleck, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Affleck
I'll
is
be
the
honest.
duck.
Affleck.
Affleck.
I'll be honest, Michael, until you said something. No, even though you said something, is that not his name? Is it not Ben Affleck?
Affleck.
It's Affleck, I believe.
You said Affleck, though. You definitely put an ack in
Yeah,
it.
with the duck.
Yeah, close.
No.
Close. Affleck. Affleck.
No,
Ben and
with
Casey
an E.
Affleck.
Oh boy.
Affleck.
Yeah, we'll talk offline.
We'll
about that one.
I have a few
agree
questions for
to
you, Dinah.
disagree.
Can I see you outside a moment?
We'll circle back around.
Oh my god.
Everything's going according to plan, Skitter.
You're just doing.
Maybe
Now
we
you
should
are
get
going
some
back to
insurance,
Danny DeVito's,
Skitter.
Danny DeVito's Penguin from the old Batman.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
No, that's not Danny DeVito. Well, kind of more.
That's more the Adam West.
I can't remember who
Yeah.
played that because he's not Caesar Romero, and he's the only villain that matters.
Yeah, the only one.
All right, we're having too
I
much
take that
fun. We
back.
have
The
to
guy who played the
go back
Riddler
to-
was the best actor in that whole
We
movie.
gotta reel it
Oh
back in
yeah,
a little bit here.
that's a great
Oh,
movie.
well, you know what? Michael has to wrangle them in. That's another.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh,
I'm putting my
oh
foot down.
gosh.
Putting my foot down.
I always forget the bingo.
Hey, at least we're not talking
Oh.
about milk, am I right? Anyway.
God damn it, Nick. Nick. We tried. I'm all out of root beer.
Speaking of mommy milkers, we can get to interlude 12E.
Damn it. Nick.
Mm.
Oh my
Oh, that hurt my
It
hand.
must not have
Sorry.
mattered because I didn't even write it down.
No, 12E is Love Lost interlude. She's a mom, so you know that's all.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's
I
all
actually
the
had thoughts about this.
hot
Oh, yeah.
thoughts.
Okay. Are there any other thoughts though? We kind of scrolled over Damsel and Brandish arguing about Marquis.
Wait.
Oh my
Which-
gosh.
That's right.
But
Yeah,
I just felt
yeah.
like that was just kind of like whatever. Like
I,
Damsel.
Carol,
just
are
being
you 12?
damsel, like, yeah,
Yeah, it was a bit of that.
you know.
Also, like it's so interesting. It's so telling that you have, because it's really 4 people in this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking, but it's really 4 people because it's Carol, it's Swansong, Vic, and Damsel. And Damsel and Carol are having the conversation, but it involves all 4 of them because the Ashleys and Vic. And Vic puts a very clear line in the sand of please stop. No, please stop. And I totally understand Damsel plowing right on through because it's Damsel, because Swansong was the one who was like, no, stop it, cut it out. But Carol also right on through the line. And it's like, I should have expected exactly what happened, and yet a part of me really hoped that one of them, honestly, I kind of hoped it was going to be Damsel, would like reel it in and point out the fact that like, which she kind of did, but point out the fact that like, Carol, your daughter has asked you to stop and you're still pushing the issue? Oh.
Yeah.
Also, I thought that Damsel had a fantastic argument about the whole like, yeah, well, that's not what everybody wants, and you idolize it. You talk about the whole of like how important it is to like have a family and being able to raise your daughter, and your daughter can't stand to be here with you. Like, Like, get
Yeah.
it. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Nail
Yeah.
on the head. I mean, stop, but also nail on the head.
Might not have
Because,
any
wow.
self-control, but is at least aware enough to, read the
Yeah.
room for 5 minutes and be like, you fucking suck.
Yeah. Also, like, Carol as the only adult in this conversation. Clearly not the mature one, but
No,
Yeah.
definitely felt like she just felt like she had to keep getting the last word in, right?
you had to
Maybe
have
it's
the
a
last
hero
word. Yeah.
thing. Maybe it's a hero thing. It might just be a Carol thing, but I do feel like
It's a
we've
bad
seen other
mom thing.
heroes. It's also
It's
that
a
too.
lawyer thing.
It's a lawyer thing.
Oh.
It's many things where it's like the character who's like, "No, I have to prove I'm right. I have to explain why I'm right." And I think it
Mhm.
comes from the false belief that if you can just explain why you think what you think well enough, everybody will agree with you. And
Oh, like Amy?
that's Carol and Amy's characters. Ironically, Amy got that probably from Carol of like,
Probably.
hey, no, listen, if I explain to you why I'm right, then you'll understand. And if you don't understand, it's not because I'm wrong or you just have a different opinion. It's just because you didn't understand me. And
'Cause
so I
you're
need
not
to explain
listening well
myself
enough.
again because you're not listening enough or you're whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm sure all of us have kind of run into people like that. And I'm sure I fall into that trap too sometimes of thinking, no, I'm right. And if I just explain it well enough, you'll believe me. But, but it is
I
what
hate
it
to
is.
say I used to be that person a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we all are in our own areas of expertise or things that stick with us.
Mm.
We just have to get that last word in. But it is funny, yeah, that basically Mark is like, "Okay, Kenny, like, let's step away from the teenager and stop the fight now." And then,
And
of course, they
Victoria
fall
points it
into a
out.
trap and
Yeah. Well,
wow.
Victoria points it out too that when he takes her away, she's like, and he does what he always does, which he comes in at the end. He doesn't say anything in the middle of the fight, but he sure is happy to be the peacemaker at the end of it all, which is something we've talked about already
Yeah.
in the past on here about Mark and his, the man doesn't have many faults, but his two big ones are Carol and Carol. So
Yep.
Yep. Pretty much. Well,
all right.
12E.
12E.
12.E. 12.E. Interlude Love Lost. Flashbacks to Love Lost's detective past and the circumstances surrounding Colt's trigger. Colt is a love lost bud inside the dream room, but Cradle has been turning the cluster into monsters. This was a good interlude. This one was one of those where I'm like, oh, not only do we get to understand Love Lost a bit better, which I really like, but man, the fact that reveal at the end where she realizes Cradle's
Yeah.
been manipulating us this whole time.
Oh gosh.
And what I like about it, right, is we just got that whole cluster thing at the beginning talking about how clusters bleed into each other in different ways. And the realization of like, oh, Cradle has been bleeding his hatred and his conniving into Snag and into Love Lost. Because Love Lost even has that moment of like, why am I this way? Like I need to snap out of this.
Yes.
I'm doing stuff I said I would never do.
Oh,
Like Love Lost, very clearly from her backstory, she had issues, but she was pretty clearly a decent person and has become a horrible person, which makes me so much more interested in Cradle's trigger. Like, who was Cradle before all of this to make him
because we still haven't had his interlude,
such a maniac?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because
It's
this
yeah,
could
I
have
think it's at the
been
end of 12.
this
I'm
could
pretty
have
sure it's at the end
been
of 12.
like they said, where Rain, for all of his goodness at the time, was a shitty person. And he did, in fact, they blame him. Your shittiness has bled into all of us. Very possible. What we found out from this is that this wasn't an unwilling bleed like in the Flechette cluster, where that just happened. Everybody got the bleed over no matter what.
Yeah.
This one was intentionally, they would give parts of themselves away, and people were taking that into themselves, and because nobody ever fucked with him, it kind of rules out like, oh no, nothing came from him, which is why he's such a bitch boy. everything's come from Cradle, who's just been giving it around like hot candy, you know?
Yeah, because
Mm.
that's what she's been saying, right? Is like Rain has never given his power away, nor has he received anything from us. Cradle has also, though, never received anything from the others, really. He's only given his power to the others, to Snag and to Love Lost, and said, "Use my power." But as far as we know, Cradle has only really ever used, like he gets the little bleed over like everybody does, but he hasn't like asked for Snag's power, or asked for Love Lost's power. He's only given away his Tinker powers, and so yeah, I thought that was really interesting. It's like, oh no, he's the reason we are the way we are.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That, oh, and even like
And
So
literally
tough.
that being shown by like the room slowly. Love Lost realizing I have less room now. Why do I have less room now? Not just because Colt's in my zone now, which is awkward, but oh, Cradles is getting bigger. Is oh, it's so
Mm.
good. So
So
yeah,
well
and
cool.
done.
not that it's just getting bigger. He's probably bleeding her out in her sleep. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
probably doing the whole blood transfusion thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes
exactly.
me wonder where because like everyone's so surprised when they make the realization. Like Snag, we have that like little tiny moment of clarity right near his death, and then and now we're getting it again of like maybe this little moment of clarity potentially before death, and kind of that's like, so if it was such a surprise to them, how did Cradle like know to do this? Like, so what background does Cradle have to
Yeah.
like, I guess, have figured it out that he could manipulate everyone like this? Like, it's so
Well,
like there's so
it's
many empty
yeah.
spaces that I'm
It's
excited to
possible
like
he yeah.
find out about.
Yeah, sorry. No, I was just thinking it's possible he didn't really know so much as he just realized,
Right,
"Oh, the more I give it away, the more they're willing to listen to me." That's good. And
right.
then we do know that at some point March approached him and told him how clusters work. So we do know
Yeah.
that. And it's also possible he did his own
Mm,
research. He clearly seems like a
mm,
very smart person. So but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm definitely fascinated to get more of his backstory because I feel like there's a lot more to
yeah.
him than just meets the eye. Um but yeah,
Yeah.
so interesting. The fact that Colt is like an offshoot of Lost too is so interesting. How that even works for triggers, like her
Yeah.
shard, like connected
Well,
to Colt because of Love Lost's connection to Colt. It's so interesting.
yeah, I mean, we've seen Bud shards because, like, clearly that's what Victoria is, but we've never seen one in a cluster trigger that I know of.
Hmm.
Well,
So,
we still don't know who the fifth piece of the pie is. We still don't know
Yeah,
who that
yeah,
was. So if it was like, what if it was Everly? What if it was her daughter, but she died in the stuff, and you have like this weird connection with her, and she's got this weird emotional connection with Colt now, and we've talked about the whole trigger thing, not triggers, clusters being like the location of like being physically close to each other, and she's around Colt all the time, and then Colt triggers, and it's kind of like this, like, well, if there was already this empty space that was maybe already connected to Love Lost, and then she's already got the emotional connection to Colt, like, I don't know, it
I'm
just
not
seems like
I'm not sure how that has anything to do with the other room.
if she's like, I just mean for the shard, is that, does that not make sense?
no,
I mean, I
I
think
think
that's
I
what
can
I
see where you're
just
going
said
with it.
beforehand, but I don't know what that has to do with, like, the empty room.
No, I mean,
Well, she's
like,
just saying
I'm
the
saying
empty
that,
room is her daughter.
yeah, what if the empty room was her
Right.
daughter, was Everly?
Why would it be Everly?
Why wouldn't it be Everly? We don't know who it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like, why wouldn't it be any one of Everly's friends?
I
Or
mean, it could be, well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying though.
She's
It's
just
like
saying
it
it
could
could
be
be.
literally anybody, and I'm saying, well, what if it was? What if it
Yeah.
was Everly? So you already have two people that are tied by blood, and then you have this emotional connection, and then she's already gone, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, that could be an extra tie. I mean, I'm just,
It could be
I don't
for
know.
sure.
I'm guessing,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Throwing spaghetti at the wall.
That'd be interesting.
that's
Well, based
happening.
um
on
This book.
yeah, based on 12 point all, not to go too far into that, but it appears as though shards do desire connectivity.
Mm.
So I think there is something to that in the sense that Love Lost's shard so connected to her love of her daughter and missing her daughter that is part of what created Colt, is what I understand, right? Is that idea of like that connectivity between her and Colt, and her still ironically seeing Colt as a child, even though Colt's like basically an adult.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're kind of like that care of like you. She's like, Colt is the one last person who is innocent, so to speak, of all this, and she needs like, I want her to leave before anything goes wrong. But then Nailbiter gives her an upper instead, and she triggers. So
Yeah.
I do like the characterization, how we've kind of seen with Colt and interacting with other people, and with how she talks to Colt or sees Colt, with like, she's not an adult, but she's not a kid. She's innocent, but she's kind of tainted by, hanging around with villains. She's at this midway point with everything on her. Like, where do I draw the line? And right now, Colt straddles it. I thought that was interesting. Also, as where is it? Somebody said, it was like the best. Here we go. J-Man. The best part of this is that it confirms that Rain's character development of becoming a better person is all him. It's none of the bleed through.
Yeah,
because they never gave tokens to him.
Yeah.
Also,
from what I've gathered from the interludes. Oh, go ahead, Hannah.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's another comment in chat too that
I was gonna read that
applied.
next.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say it does make that clear, because at least from what we've seen of the interludes, Snag was a really good person before his trigger. Love Lost was a decent person before her trigger. Rain was a child who was abused, and at heart a decent person, though in a terrible circumstance. So all that leaves again is Cradle being the messed up one in the
I believe
combination.
Cradle is an older teenager.
Was he? Okay, yeah, we don't know.
Because I think Rain triggered when he was what, 14?
13, 14.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, somewhere around the 14. Yeah. And I believe Cradle appears to be like 20 now, so it was probably like 17, 18, I think.
Interesting. I guess we'll see. Find out.
Truitt points out Rain's main quality is guilt. When he hits the emotion blast and whatnot. And Truitt believes it's a little poetic that the cluster never accepted guilt for what they'd done, and they became worse persons because they try and cut the guilt, Rain, out.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought that was really interesting.
I like that.
Fran points out that the Caillou connection is becoming clear.
The Caillou connection.
The Caillou.
It all comes back to Caillou. Oh my gosh.
The Caillou connection, which is the title of the next Mission Impossible movie. Strangely enough, only the second worst movie compared to Fallout Part 1. Was that Fallout? Whatever the newest one was, and then Part 1 of that.
I don't know. I haven't seen a Mission Impossible movie since I can't remember. Honestly.
Most of them are good.
You'll be surprised that Caillou actually is in all of them.
Caillou's in all of them. Wow. I didn't know.
That's why he's saying that. Yep.
Amazing.
It's crazy. You're missing out. Or are you?
Anything else we want to follow up with Love Lost?
I liked seeing her, how she handled the case when we're reflecting back, was she's a detective or a cop or whatever, like how she like analyzes the situation and puts together the pills in the bag and the photo and the file, and like none of it is actually applies to her case, but like she knows that it's going to have an emotional response, and so she uses it, and it works. And like, I have a lot of feelings about cops, but like, yeah, like, and the girl breaks down, and she can't handle it because it's like she thinks they know, and so she's like, oh man, no.
Yeah.
And so she tells them what happened. Like,
J-Man, thank you for pointing out it was Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning is the worst Fallout, and then right before that, the Caillou Connection.
The worst Mission Impossible.
Oh, by far.
Okay.
You keep saying Fallout, and I'm like the show?
Like the show.
No. The Fallout was the one before Dead Reckoning. That's the one where we started watching it and thought it was a parody movie of stuff, and so we had to check the label.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
It's
always a good time.
Yeah. Was there something? Oh,
yeah.
Something I had a thought of. So we've seen emotion powers in each one of the other characters in this cluster, and I'm trying to remember what Cradle's emotion power was.
I don't know that we've seen much of it. If he's used
I feel
it.
like, yeah, I feel like the most we've really seen of Cradle, even in like fighting, was during the
Fallen battle.
Yeah, where he's like,
thank you, the Fallen battle at the barn.
House,
yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like
fight.
that's the most we've seen of him. So like when you said, oh yeah, I think he was an older teenager when everything, like, okay, because you could have told me he was a 50-year-old man and I wouldn't have known.
If I recall correctly, he didn't use any emotion powers at that point.
I didn't think so either.
He's strong Seto Kaiba vibes.
Yeah, he is strong Seto Kaiba vibes.
Just replace the helicopter he's always flying away with the giant hand
like the
he's
giant
holding
hands.
onto.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh reference again.
But the
Thank you. Clarification. Thank you, Michael.
Because Love Lost has the rage kind of yell, the scream. Rain has the guilt, which we know now kind of how that works. The time capsule trainer of guilt.
Yep.
And then what was Snags? It was just like an emotional punch, right? Like a gut punch.
Yeah,
basically,
it hits you emotionally.
like bad feelings.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
Ian points out that it has not yet been revealed.
Okay,
No wonder we
think
don't
so.
know.
I didn't think it'd been shown.
But if it was a
Alan.
more subtle, like I'm thinking, because I genuinely don't
Like
remember.
hatred.
But if it's a more subtle thing, makes him aware of, maybe more aware of how to emotionally manipulate people, that would make sense in terms of figuring out the dream space easier than other people. Like where theirs are very active powers, his might be a very passive or, subtle power.
Yeah.
Sort of like Rain's took a while to figure out.
Makes sense.
It's possible, yeah. Well, 12-3.
12-3.
3.
I almost feel like, just as a quick question, should we put 12-3 and 12-4 together to discuss? Because I feel like we want to spend more time on 12 all at the end.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get bogged down in 12-3 and 4.
That works.
Okay. I don't even have a distinction for 12-4, which
and they do go together. Like sequentially, they're very closely tied.
Do.
So all right. 12-3. The fight continues with spasms and weakened powers. The team negotiates a hostage exchange, and Prancer tries to separate himself from Love Lost's crew. 12-4. The two sides have a standoff. Prancer negotiates and lies to everyone about Cradle's manipulations. Paris walks away, and Antares gets a look at Cradle's base. So the return of Moose and Prancer was a welcome sight for sore eyes.
I love Moose.
Sad to
Moose.
hear.
I don't know about Prancer.
Well, Moose. Well, in this case, Prancer, because he's like, I'll help you guys. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, which, I can appreciate. He lost Velvet. Rest in peace, Velvet.
Yeah. That was sad. It's a bummer.
And he's just a sad boy trying to make amends for the bad things he's done, which, we can vibe with that.
Yeah, we
Um,
can.
Yeah,
yeah,
understand some redemption.
yeah, yeah. This was the scene I was mostly talking about, where they're like, "We're gonna go kill people," and then 12, 3, and 4 is like, "Oh shit, no, we're getting our asses kicked, run!"
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
God,
Jeez,
they got
the
stalled. Those
electricity mines just took them all fucking
Yeah.
out. Jesus
We
Christ.
just watched Predator
Yeesh.
Badlands and the like cube that they like lay out and it like and like the red electricity that like grabs them and
Mhm.
pins them
Right.
down.
Yeah.
That's all I could think of, but just like all over the ground instead of like any
Yeah.
sort of third
Yeah.
dimension.
Yeah.
Well, it's that combined with, we find out later they got hit by the double second broken trigger happening in Brockton Bay. They got like hit by the shockwave of that, which knocked all their powers
Yeah.
out too. So
Yep.
it's like a
Yep.
double hit of like, we got stuck in the
Fuck.
trap, and also we got, screwed over by this
Dang.
double trigger,
Jeez.
double trigger thing
Jeez.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
a
Harbinger
hard
boys
time of it.
lose to Contender, but Vicky goes 2 for 2.
Yeah. I will say, of all people, Harbinger. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense. If they didn't have their powers, maybe they're not that good actually at what they
They're
do.
just annoying.
They're
Just
annoying.
teenagers.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point actually. Now that I think about it, I'm like, man, Harbinger's so cool. How did he lose to Contender? And I'm like, oh wait, that's Contender's whole thing, is he takes your powers away. So if Harbinger can't
true.
see the math of where to kick, he's just like, wait.
And that would be a brutal, like, thinker powers. They've got to be brutal to lose in a fight
Oh my
if you're
god.
just like
Oh,
so
man.
reliant on them.
Oh
True.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
It makes me wonder
What
if
is-
Tattletale would at least get some relief from her headaches. Just be like, oh,
Probably,
thank God.
actually, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I will pay you $500,000 cash right now. I will summon it from a portal if your
Yeah.
job is to just like use your ability in the next room.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Oh,
8
man.
hours so I
What
can
is it?
fucking sleep.
All I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
is Harbinger gets into the arena thinking he's gonna beat up on this guy, having lost his powers, and I don't remember what the guy says, but the wrestler, and is it the wrestler in Spider-Man who's like, "You ain't going
Bones.
nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes." Or something like that.
Minutes.
3 minutes of pain. Bonesaw is ready.
Yeah, it's just what I'm imagining, and Harbinger's like, "Oh, I'm fucked."
Whoops. Oops.
Fran, I thought they were like 15 or 16. I'm pretty sure they're older than that. Also, Truitt compared it to stepping on a bear trap, but also there's a tornado happening.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty much, yeah.
then to go back a little bit, what is the secret? The secret emotion power that Cradle's been hiding. Fran says maybe it's happiness, and he's never had a reason to use it. And Ian spoils a little by telling us all it's Cradle's super secret happy beam.
Super secret happy beam.
Amazing.
I've been over here laughing my head off.
Maria.
Yeah. See, y'all are going with that. I was just thinking of the Miku.
Oh, the Miku beam.
Keep
Miku
going.
beam.
Going.
Because we were watching that, but they'd replaced the orbital laser from Helldivers with the Hatsune
Yeah.
Miku beam.
Yeah. I've seen that. That's
Amazing.
great.
Yeah. In the end, though, at least Prancer was useful and came up with a great lie on the fly.
And
That
Moose
turns out
worked
to
with
be
him.
semi-true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more true than he realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I remember reading this the first time and not catching on. I just took it at face value, like, oh shit, okay, I guess that's just what's happening. And this time it was more like, I don't think they're in a cabin.
Damn it.
I don't do it the second read through. Yeah.
So, okay, so just to make sure, just to double check that I'm on this right track here. So, when Cradle shook their hand, he did pinprick them with something. But cuz Blue Stocking said she had the scab on her hand. Yes? And he lied. So okay, so here's my thing. I was like, yeah, he's lying the whole time. Until Blue Stocking was like, yeah. And they both had like pinprick scabs on their hands. Because he says it and he's like all confident that like, yeah, no, I think he did something to me. I think he did something. Did you feel weird after he shook your hand? And Moose was like, yeah, I definitely felt weird. And Blue Stocking's like, yeah, me too. I had her check that out and she said it was fine. Like, okay. So he's pulling a little bit of mind games on them. We love that. Way to go. Doing great, Prancer. And then there's a comment about both of them having scabs on their hands, like pinprick scabs. And I was like, wait, did he pinprick them with something? Like what?
I'll be honest, I get stuff like that all the time from working outside. So like pinprick
Listen,
scabs
woodchip
would not
man,
on near my hands would not be anything like out of the ordinary.
Okay, but it would be weird though. It would be weird though that he's like talking about this and he's talking about them getting pinpricked and then she happens to have a pinprick scab and so does he. Like that's a little weird.
Here's my
I just wanted to
thought.
make sure this isn't one of those things that I totally just like jaha.
No. The first time I read it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Scab.
I think this is everybody just going like, yeah, I also don't want to be here actually.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, Hannah, Blue Stocking does not confirm she has a scab. I was just looking at it. Prancer says he had a scab on his hand. Moose agrees and said it seemed weird at the time Cradle touched my arm. And then Blue Stocking just says, yeah, he shook my hand. If you were right, then alliances don't matter. He broke the truce.
Yeah, because one, it makes you paranoid, and two, it gives you a reasonable out to be like, oh my gosh, you're right. I've totally been mind controlled. I'm not even guilty. And everybody can go, they're not guilty. That means all of you can get the fuck out of our way. And anybody who, is still under mind control can get their ass whooped.
Yeah.
Ian says, I think the whole point is that this is a plausible lie that anyone could jump on.
Yeah.
Sure. And
because isn't there a whole bit about Moose and Prancer talking about, you remember, like essentially prepping this lie, going like, hey, you remember that clerk?
Yes.
You remember the whole thing?
Yeah.
And that's why they're the first two, like, yep, totally. Yeah. I totally got pricked.
Right.
Yep. I thought it was weird. Yep. Totally true.
That is confusing.
Okay, no, later Blue Stocking said, I had a mark on my finger and a weird heavy feeling like I get anytime I have an injection. I had Bitter Pill take a look at it, and Bitter Pill says I took it for a splinter.
Yes.
So it may have been actually just a splinter in her finger.
Yeah. But it builds the paranoia whether or not.
It builds that paranoia with people like him.
Yeah, it does build the paranoia. Okay. I guess I read that and I thought that confirms.
And especially after the last chapter and the fact that we know he's been like essentially scanning other Tinker stuff and powers to build his own cradle thing. It would make sense that part of that scanning is grabbing biological material by, doing a quick little, thing or injecting stuff, because we just saw that in the previous chapter. That's how the chapter ended in 12.E, and then to immediately roll into these and be like, also he might be affecting these people. It's like, oh, so he's not limited to being a piece of shit in the dream world. Also,
well, he's just
Moose
tricked everybody.
Just wants to run an adult camp, and I love that.
Bless him.
I've always loved Moose.
This is great. This is so great.
Moose is so great.
I like him a lot.
What is it?
Also,
Victoria says something like, when I hit you, Moose, didn't you say that would make your mom sad? And he's like, that's a low blow, Victoria.
Come on.
Like, bringing up my mom again.
Confidence.
Here's the thing. Someone confirmed for me that Moose is an adult.
Yes.
I do believe Velvet was fucking him. We'll hope that's a...
Well, you cannot.
We know that
remember
Velvet were up to
You're
something.
right.
That Imp. Yeah, let's remember that Imp and freaking Alec were boinking, and they were definitely underage.
Okay, but Velvet was not underage, but Prancer was doing stuff with underage people. In the extended canon, so
that's why I asked.
It's a fair question to ask.
And I ship Moose and Vic.
Oh.
I like it. I like it.
Oh,
I liked
I'll
it
allow it.
before.
Mhm.
I liked it
Proceed.
before, and I like it now.
Would
And
their
here's
would
the
their
thing.
ship name be Aunt Laurie's?
Ah,
Antler
Ooh,
Antleries?
yeah.
It's kind of,
Yep.
Moose
we'll
Taries.
workshop it.
We'll
It's fine.
It's others there. Chat,
Did you say
help me out.
Moose Taries?
Moose Taries.
Victus.
Staries?
I feel like there's a moose tracks in here somewhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
We
Anyways,
need to find a constellation of a moose and find the name for that.
Mm.
I'm on it.
Glory Moose.
No, I don't like it. I don't like Glory Moose.
Ian,
Yeah.
Hannah, Moose has been 15 this whole time.
No, that's not true.
Moose has actually been retroactively changed to 15 the
He's
moment
been
Hannah started talking about him.
Yeah, no.
You can go ahead and clip that.
The Moose
listen.
constellation is known as Moose, which is Mooz. So that's not very helpful.
Oh, good.
Thought we were cooking there.
Wow,
All
that
right.
was really funny.
Now, real quick,
The
something
Moose
said
constellation
offhandedly.
is known as Moose.
What charities do you think Paris gives all his money to?
Oh, it's some.
Yes.
Go ahead, Hannah. What were you gonna
Yep.
say?
No, it was about to be really. It's not worth it for the internet. Please.
It's Paris Fashion Week, right? It's just Fashion Week.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There you go.
Not like Paris Fashion Week needs more money.
Yeah, exactly.
They also talk
What
that
would
it might
Paris
be a
donate
guilt
to?
thing. So now I'm really
Ah.
curious as to what.
It sounds like he's been doing it for a while, though. So it's not just. But I
Like-
mean, the thing is, though, we know from his past, at least it appeared he was targeting LGBT individuals.
Yes.
So it's possible that maybe those are the charities he's giving to?
Right.
Possible.
Yeah.
Is that what
He
we
and-
were assuming?
I mean, that's kind of how it
If it's
feels
a guilt
implied.
thing, if it's a guilt thing, then perhaps.
Sure. Maybe.
I don't know. It's interesting. He and Byron's conversation is interesting, and we only know the context because we had that interlude with Tristan and Byron. But where he's like, the line where Paris is like, "Man, if you had any guts, you would have done to him what he did to you." I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
damn.
The chat is really funny right now.
Chat, we're not going to say who so they don't get
Oh, no.
doxxed, but 100% a conversion camp, Westboro Baptist, unsolicited opinions
no.
about Israel from,
Oh my god. Literally chat read my mind.
See, except chat,
I was
it
gonna
wouldn't
say
be
the
to
Southern
Israel, it
Baptist
would be
Convention,
APAC
but-
money from Israel. That's the.
Oh
There
my
you go.
lord, that is hilarious. Yeah, they all said it like
also-
chat was like do. All everyone
yeah,
said
chat
it
was
all
on
at
it.
once.
Y'all are
And,
amazing.
and remember, their
Y'all
words,
know.
not mine.
Yeah, chat's words.
Yeah. Follow-up thought. And I think I've said this before, but how is Paris not dead? Like,
Yeah.
Paris kind of sucks. Like, we're talking precipice levels of ass, and he somehow is a dangerous villain.
Ass.
Like,
Yeah.
Listen, he
Like,
throws really
sure,
sharp sticks,
if-
Alan.
what?
The sticks he throws, they're really sharp. They're
They're
pointy.
sharp,
They're
and
sharp.
sure,
They're-
if they hit you, it's really bad. But so's a bullet? Like, again, what's preventing a Rain with a handgun, or a Byron with a handgun, or a
This is just
Tristan with a
wishful
handgun?
thinking.
Yeah.
This
I
wishful
know,
thinking, Alan.
just
Maybe.
like it's not even. It's just like your abilities to create little like buckshot spraying pellets that hurt from whatever material that comes out of. But in terms of overall powers, like all Sveta has to do one time is just whoop bop, like right on the nose, and you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, how is he to the level he is? This is, this is the same thing I
Sure.
have with Jack Slash, but at least we can
That was great.
explain a lot of things about Jack Slash and Jack Slash's ability to like make a knife go the distance and cut.
Right.
Sure.
Give
And also his
some-
magnetism.
Yeah. Well, all right. Paris has got more
His
risk than he
charisma.
ever had. So,
All right now.
I don't get why Paris is a big deal when he is just immediately outclassed by a dude with a shotgun. Like,
I just thought that Byron should have killed him already. Like when he has this moment where he's like, "It's not up to me." He switches back to Tristan, and Tristan, I listened. I had to go back and listen to it because at first I thought he was saying like, "Yeah, do it," and then I realized he was saying, "No, don't do it." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Why are we listening to Tristan right now?"
Yeah.
Tristan's guts are hanging out.
all I can think of is he's got to have some bullshit power like
Thinker power of some kind.
Jack. It's
Yep.
like, oh, well,
Something.
actually, his real power is never getting fucking killed. I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah.
cool.
He
Yeah,
might.
All right.
We'll
he
find out.
does seem to. I mean, from the Capricorn interlude, I feel like you get the hint he's really coordinated in the sense of like
Yeah.
kind of like March's timing.
We did
Yes,
think that
power.
he might have
Sure.
been part of the Flechette cluster.
Yeah,
He's
I
not,
guess he
but
was.
boy,
He's
howdy,
not.
does it feel like that.
Yeah, because
We'll
he's
find
got
out.
the ability to create these, piercing needles and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, in the way he's described too, this is only for Alan and maybe someone in chat if they're lucky, but Alan, he's described as having long blonde hair and a metal mask and being like a tall, lanky figure. He's a Yuritsa from Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
This is the vibe.
Yuritsa, I also got the, what's the guy from Street Fighter who has like the,
Oh, yeah. What's not Volo, that's Soul Calibur. What's
the
starts with a
Volo,
V,
but
though.
hot.
The Volo, but yeah. I don't know, man. Have you seen Volo?
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
let me tell you.
Oh god.
Yeah,
And I
everybody
need
go
you to look
Google
up
Volo
Volo.
from Soul
Yeah,
Calibur
100%.
right now.
Look up.
Volo from Soul Calibur. See if he's hot or not.
Vega.
We need
Vega
a-
is a Street
we
Fighter.
need
one.
a-
Vega.
We need
Yeah.
a
Okay.
honest opinion.
Yeah. Volo is VOLO
wait,
from Soul Calibur.
Yep. Everyone listen to Hannah. Everyone wait.
Okay, well, first of all, the internet is telling me that it's Voldo with a D.
Voldo, sorry.
Oh,
Voldo.
sure.
Ooh, well,
go.
Nick, I'm gonna need
Nerd
your
credit.
your gamer license and
Yep.
registration
I'm so sorry.
back. We're gonna suspend that.
Okay, and then there's multiple versions that I'm seeing here. There's a blue one, a pink one, a purple
That sounds about right.
one.
Yep.
Does
You get the
it
idea.
matter?
Are any of
They're
them?
Okay, I'm
different
gonna click on one of
costumes,
these
same
and
guy.
Yeah.
have a look, see up close.
That's the
Hannah's
result.
currently
I
covering
want.
her mouth.
that is unfortunate to say the least. Some
Just
of
wait
these
till you
costumes are
walk.
some of these costumes are better than others.
What
Just
that
wait
Ben
till you
do?
watch him move. That's all
what
you
was-
really need.
He's very flexible,
Oh,
let me tell
no.
you.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh,
He's
no.
a flexy
Ooh.
boy.
That
He's a
had the
flexy
reach,
boy.
Hold on.
but he had the flexibility. You know what I'm saying?
He's got
Okay,
the
hold on.
flexibility and the reach. Let me tell you, look at that man.
Ooh,
Ooh,
boy, howdy.
All right.
he's
Hold
a
on,
complete
hold on.
package.
There he goes. Whoa. What? Whoa! What?
Yep.
It's like a slinky.
All right. Yeah,
He sure is.
Yeah.
So it's what
I do
sixth
love.
okay,
grade
what
do.
was the question again?
I googled.
Is he hot? Was that the
Voldo. Is
question?
he hot?
Yeah, that was the
how
question.
how
Yes.
hot is he? Not is he hot, but how hot is he? Let me.
Ian says he's very hot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Ian.
love
All
though.
right.
I Google
Ian-
Voldo Soul Calibur, and the first thing I see is
Ian, we may
Reddit.
need to talk.
What's wrong with Voldo?
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
All
Anyway.
right. Last question for this chapter, because we end on a very clearly setting up for the next swing of
Yeah.
things. How would you crack the egg? And by that, I mean you have the cradle egg that he has built that is a shield of all the body parts of your friends and has assumedly love lost and cradle being drained, like the powers being drained into him possibly. How do you get around this? You are the crew. Or
Well,
even
first of
in
all,
general, like
a long time ago, I would have bought out Coil Sniper, and I think that's the
Yeah.
solution here, right? You just need
Exactly.
one bullet to get through all the body parts to hit Cradle right in the noggin, and you got him. And that's all you need.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Someone's got Contessa on speed dial. Just like,
Yeah.
hey, real
Someone
quick,
called Contessa.
need a little help.
And we're at the point now where shit's gotten bad enough
Yeah.
that like she can come out of retirement for a hot sec.
Yeah, if she could, that'd be great.
I would get all the gun wielding tapes, the Texas guys,
Miss
whatever their
Militia.
names
Young
were.
Yeah.
Buck.
Miss Militia, Young Buck,
Yeah.
and Contessa.
Oh yeah, Miss
And
Militia.
then I'd win.
We haven't had
immediately.
enough of her.
Yeah.
Yep, that would work.
Yeah. No, I do
Yeah.
think actually the fact that they have harbingers with them is a good sign to me because they're like,
Yes.
we need to get a
And
bullet
2 of them.
through here. There's only
Yeah.
a 1% chance we can get it between the body parts. They're like, don't worry. I got the math
I
down.
know a guy.
Well, and
Yeah.
Rain can probably assist with that. Actually,
Mm,
Finding,
need
like,
be,
the-
yeah.
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 something like
Also,
that.
as Beefaroni points out, as well as Fran, but Victoria hates eggs. And this was a meme in the community before this chapter came out.
That's funny.
And so this is in a
J-Man, I
way.
don't think that the egg is see-through. I think it's just like the patchwork of body parts are kind of like interspersed around it, making a patchwork force field. So there are slots that you could probably shoot through it, but because there's so many of these body parts, you wouldn't want to just like take a shot and miss because you're just hitting one of your people in the
Yeah.
liver or something like that.
Sure. Which they seem pretty injured already. They're in pieces.
What's
Yeah.
one bullet between?
They're still
friends?
alive.
Honestly, you pick a body part that is like the obviously you
that
don't want to
looks
shoot any body
non-critical.
parts,
Yeah,
but the one that doesn't seem as most critical, like
exactly.
a knee or a arm, and you go for it. And then you pull out all the stops and you get yourself in touch with Amy. Like,
Yeah.
bionic
It
legs.
sucks, but like we can't keep playing.
Well, the
We can't
assumption
keep playing
is
this
like,
fucking game.
yeah.
Mhm.
I believe Cradle has alluded to the fact that he can reverse what he's done,
Yeah.
but you have to have the
Yes.
tool that he used.
Right.
But didn't they find it? Did they find the thing? They just don't have the body
They
parts
have
now,
it.
right? They have the
Well,
tool,
okay, so
and Rain's
yes,
working on it,
so
or Rain was working on it.
yes. Well,
But
they're literally discussing
Yeah.
this as they're sleeping in Dreamland, which
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't trust
Yeah.
Cradle any more than Rain does. Which
Oh yeah,
good.
no, that part was like Loveloss is like, well, wait a second, and then Cradle's like,
Yeah.
you know what, you're right. I'll give you some of my power, Rain.
We
It's like-
took this too far. You should work on that. What? No. It's
Yeah.
gonna blow up in your face. You're gonna
Yeah.
make it permanent, is what you're gonna end up doing.
Which I do love. Loveloss is like, I know I'm going to kill Cradle now. I might have to kill Rain if he takes Cradle's power. Like, this is that thought process.
Mhm.
But yeah, spooky. Probably like viscerally one of the spookiest things since the like Brian in the meat locker kind of thing. Just
Yeah,
imagining
it's up there.
the idea of like looking through a window and just seeing like an egg or like a shield of all your friends' body
A
parts is pretty
shield of
grisly.
flesh parts.
Yeah.
Welcome to war.
All I
Shield
can
of
think
flesh
of is
parts.
it's like the Morty shield from Rick and Morty where you
Yeah.
just all the Mortys.
That
are
was
all-
the first thing I thought of, Nick. It was the
Fucking
first thing.
Aw.
I'm glad.
That's
Your
funny.
mind.
Yeah. Yep. Well, 12 all to discuss.
Oh boy. All right.
I don't want to be up too late, but we'll do what we need to do.
Yeah.
If we have
Yeah.
to, get this to I don't know. Also, Bernard, we said that we were going to be meeting this one time, I guess, on Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry,
just-
Bernard.
Just because
I sent out.
I forgot.
No,
I sent
Fran,
out.
don't lie.
Fran is trying to pull
Alan
trying to
said
pull
so.
a fast one. I thought they were all going to be on Mondays. Apparently, it's just this Monday.
Lord Almighty, no one reads their texts anymore. It's okay. It's okay. I sent out
I
a
still
message.
haven't read any of those texts y'all sent the other day, by the way. All 50 of them. As soon as the number got past 7, I didn't read any of them.
Think we found the problem.
There was never a doubt. Bernard, I apologize. I tried to send out a message last week letting everyone know it would be Monday. But yeah.
We also did talk about this last podcast, did we not?
Yeah.
We talked about
having it on Monday for our first...
I thought we said the 12th.
We had to retroactively change some stuff because I am busy tomorrow. I have to go to Atlanta, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
It's still going to be on Tuesdays. We just needed to do this Monday.
Yeah, this is just the weird week. Starting next week, it'll be... Or not next week, but next time, it'll be Tuesdays again.
Yeah.
Yep. 12.0.
Let's do it.
12.0.
All right. 12.0 interlude the shards. Victoria's shard describes this connection to a toast and their shared history. March's shard follows the battle in Brockton Bay. Vista and others die. Dauntless and Alabaster are freed, only to have broken second triggers.
All else aside, the perspective of the shards is very cool.
Yes.
Get everything else.
Yes.
But I like.
Yeah, let's describe what's in text to begin.
Yeah.
Biggest thing up front, Vista.
That sucked.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying shout out to Shadowstalker for being the longest surviving Brockton Bay ward.
Yeah, really.
Wow.
God.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
It just sucks. Like I had hope that maybe Vista was just like at gunpoint and was forced to lower the, to return the city back to normal, but
yeah,
I don't know. It does. We mentioned this before, or Jacob, I think you mentioned it, but it does feel like, right, you've got Dragon, Defiant, Vista, even Golem, who has vastly improved in his powers and usage of them, along with other heroes who we know are there, who maybe they're not A rank or S rank or anything like that, but they're heroes. They're prepared for this. And March, not only does she time everything perfectly, but she's got superhuman stamina to keep moving when things seem like there's so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the confirmed deaths that I noted, I don't know if there's any. We know Vista died. Withdrawal and Tempera seem to have died as well.
Yeah.
Withdrawal being from
seems so. I wasn't sure exactly.
Hit in the head with something.
It said that shrapnel cut her head in half.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
And
I remember that being
and
another baddie down.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, she had something up to help withdrawal from falling. Yeah. And so when she got whacked, I imagine that he also fell because she couldn't hold him up.
So March's shard notes that she planned for that she would knock out Tempera, and then that would knock out her power a few seconds later when she died, and then withdrawal would probably fall to his death as a result.
Not confirmed, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe it until it's on screen. Like I see the bodies, kind of a thing.
Yeah. And then maybe Golem, but that's a little bit less clear. I
didn't feel like Golem. I feel like the big one was Vista.
Big one was Vista, though.
All I could think of is like, okay, we didn't say she's dead, and like
she exploded in pieces, and people looked away.
Well, her armor exploded, which all I can think is, what if she?
It doesn't say. I think it says chest.
It says
they talk about chunks.
Armor on her. The armor on her chest exploded.
Okay, and they say that people looked away from like the viscera.
I didn't hear that part, but
it's all right.
I'm pretty sure she's gone.
But anyway,
it
in my
seemed
head,
to
I
me
was
quite
like,
clearly.
no, I'm hanging on. I was hanging on for hope. Okay. And all I could think of was like,
Okay.
maybe at the last moment, she made an impossible distance between her armor and the sword. Like it's the Goto from Jujutsu Kaisen, where like you go to punch him, but he can just always make infinity between you and his fist. So even though it gets like right here, he makes, the distance impossible every time.
Mm.
So, that like, oh, like when the sword goes in, it basically is like a magician's trick, but she still hits the armor. So, it explodes. But typically they
No.
explode. Well, I was hoping it would explode outward because they're like directional explosions generally.
It does say the words Vista's chest explodes.
God damn it.
That's what it said.
Okay, well.
Well, and also, even if March didn't have her, explodey sword power,
Beefaroni said, but she can walk it off.
she can walk it off. Yeah. No, but even if she didn't have that, she said, she comes, her rapier points at the heart, using both hands to overcome the resistance of the breastplate. She presses forward until the hilt sits flush against Vista's armor plate. So basically, even without her power, Vista just got stabbed all the way through the heart in jest. So
Yeah.
Right.
So Beckford, your breath stinks. My God.
I gave him tuna today.
It smells so bad.
I mentioned earlier that like the punchy punches don't punch anymore, and this was one of those things. When Vista died, like I shed some tears, absolutely, but it wasn't the visceral like when we lost people in Worm. I weep, I'm like eyes puffy, can't see straight, bawling my eyes out, laying on my floor. Like that is me when people die. And I just kind of shed a couple of tears and was heartbroken and then moved on. It didn't punch, which sucked because losing Vista is huge.
Yeah, I love Little
Big V, Little V.
So.
Yeah.
Big V, Little V.
Very upsetting, but it didn't punch. And I don't know if that's maybe because we're kind of getting this shard view, which feels a little bit removed. But I imagine that when we get Big V's response to Little V's death, it's going to hit probably maybe a little bit harder, but yeah. I mean this sucked. There's no way around it. It felt I am a very big fan of killing your darlings. I like when characters die. I like the emotional roller coaster, as emotionally wrecked as I am over it. I do enjoy when characters die. This didn't feel like it was earned. It didn't feel like it made sense. It just kind of felt like, oh, March needs to kill somebody to make her feel extra bad rather than just like the chaos gremlin Joker that she is. Because she's helped Rain try to understand trigger cluster stuff before, so it's like, well, maybe she could be helpful, maybe she's a rogue, and like this kind of firmly is the kick the dog thing of like firmly places her in villain territory past the point of no return, where like, well, you did this to Vista. It just feels lazy to me. I don't like it. I don't like it, and that's not coming up from a place of being like, why'd you kill Vista? It's coming from a place of like, I didn't really hurt when Vista died. And to me, that says a lot about how it happened and everything that's happening before this in the previous chapters.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm the opposite. I've talked about a lot about how I hate character deaths in stories. I don't like them. That's a debate for another day. But already it's like this just adds to it. I felt really pointless in the context of the story that's being told, and just unnecessary. It was just like, I think you said lazy. I think that's a good word for it. It's just like, oh, here's our cheap, semi-meaningful death to cement the villain as bad, as if they weren't already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of this, it seems like, at least, and we don't know maybe the full story, but it feels like, as they allude to at the end, even her subordinates are like, all of this just so Ixnay can
Yeah.
bleed their cluster partner. Like,
Right.
this is why we all of this? That seems like, even that just seems, if that is the end goal, and I'm hoping it's not, but even if that is the end
It's
goal, I'm like, well, that's stupid. like,
it's
like
stupid.
as
It's
a
dumb.
motivation for a villain. Although Jack Slash was the chaotic person, right? Like, that was his thing. At least even he found out that he was prophesied to end the world. And he's like, oh, I'm going to end the world, huh? Cool. I got to survive and mess up things up as long as I can. Like, it
Mhm.
felt like he was given a bigger purpose than just being chaotic. But this feels like taking that and instead downsizing it to just, oh, you just wanted to help one of your allies get a little stronger. That
Mm.
feels so petty.
Well, I'll
Right.
I'll make a defense, my one defense of March in this case. So, if you're a Christian and you believe in the concept of going to heaven and essentially trying to save people's eternal souls at all costs,
Hmm.
extrapolating that to shard heaven, and that essentially cluster people are the only ones who get to go to shard heaven. But the only way they get to do that is if you connect them. It is imperative to get the people that you can into shard heaven no matter the cost. Everybody else will, when they do die, are just going to die out, and people who are unconnected cluster people will die out as well.
Hmm.
So like I guess in that regard, it kind of makes sense. She's granting immortality for the few people that can experience it, or not or immortality, but you know what I mean.
I suppose.
Yeah.
We don't know the
Yeah.
full
But
story yet either. We haven't finished chapter
Well,
12.
yeah.
we can if we want to
Exactly.
lay into March as a whole. If we want to just move into that gauntlet, I'm okay. Or do we want to talk about the time bubbles real quick, or something else before we get
I do want to
into?
mention a couple of small things.
Yeah. Go for it.
With the time bubble in particular, you had Dauntless in there, who I forgot his whole thing was charging up power over time.
Right.
So
Mhm.
so the idea that they just opened this time bubble of who knows how long he's been in there,
Right.
Yeah.
probably unconsciously charging his power this entire time,
Right.
based
Yeah.
on what it sounds like from the release,
Yeah.
is just like,
But the
oh, that's terrifying.
That's so cool.
yeah.
And then just the idea is like he and Alabaster just like explode with second triggers. Because what I'm imagining, right, is what if they've been in this time bubble, but their brains have been going the whole time, right? So they're
Mm.
under this extreme stress and their brains have been trying to create second triggers because they're under such heavy stress, but they're in the time bubble.
Right.
So they've been frozen this whole time.
Yeah.
And so that's why it was such a big explosion of trigger, and
That's
that's why it,
crazy.
like, knocked out powers for a time as, like, a big EMP blast. I mean, again,
Yeah.
who knows what they released? I don't know. I don't think we knew what Alabaster's powers were, but he and Dauntless
Yeah.
seemed to be, like, melding into this giant being of light.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird. That in terms of that, I'm interested to see what happens.
Oh
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
so, like, as a
Yeah.
consequence for this, I think that's fascinating. Um I'm not sure I like how we got there though, I guess,
Yeah.
is the point,
Part of the
right?
thought, because once again we're almost alluding back to Gold Morning in terms of like, or in reverse in a way. So we've got the sting power, which is the same as
Foils.
Foil when we killed Scion. We have the sting power, which pierces through everything that pops the time bubbles, essentially.
Mhm.
So we have that going on. Then we have here's what I'm thinking right now is that in a way, maybe there is a secondary objective here that like we are trying to get essentially the network back up so that everybody can go to Shard Heaven.
Mhm.
But the way to do that, you can't do that because it would require an entity. And the entities, when they died, much like how we saw with Eden first, that like the things that when they make powers out of her, those are still dead shards.
Mhm.
Dead being different for them than it is for humans, obviously. And when Scion got killed, all of the shards are still dead.
Mm.
And when they are attaching and doing things, because there's the lack of the network to stabilize everything, some of them end up broken. Potentially some of them were
Yeah.
already hanging around people waiting for triggers to happen. So like those are kind of like maybe good, but overall the network's down and everything got the kill order like to turn off or die when Scion died, except for those in the time bubbles. So those are
Mm.
still maybe live shards. So now the time
Mm.
bubbles popped, you have a live shard. And all of a sudden, all of the other shards in the network can kind of maybe like turn on, and them going to like when the powers get knocked out, maybe is like a rebooting the
Reset.
system.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
Is this a
Because we do
spoiler
get
or is
that
this just
perspective from.
you're wondering?
This is my random thoughts reading through this chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I am very fuzzy on the rest of like the details
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
I remember events. I don't remember like
Yeah.
the
That's
Yeah.
I got you.
stuff,
I was just curious.
if that makes sense. So all of this is from what we've gotten here.
I can see that. That'd be really interesting.
Just how they were talking
Mhm.
about networks, because they mentioned the word like
Yeah.
what do they call it, catalyzers or something like that.
Mhm.
That they're, I forget if they're
Maybe,
looking
yeah.
for catalyzers or they know what the catalyzers are. So
What was
that's what I'm
interesting to
thinking. Is
me.
this a catalyst where you're trying to like, yes, they're trying to drain them, but they're also trying to
Yeah.
bring essentially the 5G online?
Yeah, yeah. What was interesting to me too, with that in mind, is how conscious the shards are. Like if this is genuinely like not just an artistic rendering, so to speak, but genuinely how the shards behave. The shards, Victoria's shard, for example, is conscious of all the different identities that she's had for herself.
Yeah.
March's shard is conscious of March's relationship to others and aware of that, right? They call like the shard calls her their March, you know.
Yeah.
And so there's an eerie consciousness there, right? We had that idea of like, okay, Scion is greater than just, what we think, but it always felt like the shards maybe were sort of an inhuman, or not inhuman, but unconscious part of him, so to speak, in Eden. So
Yeah.
having this realization of like, oh no, they're aware and they have purpose as well. They're like little pieces of the entity, is a fascinating revelation, realizing, there's more to it, which is
I mean,
interesting.
Victoria Shard
We,
is a bro. She's
Yeah.
like, imagine what we could do.
Yes.
When she
Yes.
realizes her potential and our power. Like,
yeah.
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 And it's also
I liked
a
that.
sad sack of shit as well. Like it's and I even know what comment you got that from.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an interesting, like, we've seen shard perspective before, and it did feel very inhuman, but it almost feels like because of the lack of entities driving them, or maybe it's just time spent connected, because we've talked about, I mean, there's been a lot of talk thematically about bleeding through, and we know from Worm like the concept of like you're essentially putting, like, the power is putting a, personality, and you're shaping it with your own personality, and you're becoming more shard, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we've never considered the possibility that the shards become more human.
Mm,
And this feels like maybe without the entities, they essentially have to become more human, because they've got no other source to draw from.
sure.
Uh, there's no return route, so they're just staying and becoming. So
Yeah.
you have the sad sack that's, like, oh, kinda, man, I suck, but like, man, we could do great things if we would get our shit together. That is Victoria's wretch. Like, it's called the wretch. It thinks of itself as a wretch in a lot of senses. Um,
Hmm.
and then you look over at Marches, and Marches is very possessive. It calls himself their March, and which
Yeah.
is very, I mean, imagine
Yeah.
March calls like foil their foil,
Yeah.
like, ah, yes, we'll be
Right.
together because you're mine and I will wear your skin. That's extremely how she thinks. So it makes me wonder if there's
Yeah.
like, oh, if it's just been bleeding the other way. And
Yeah.
because it's been around enough, uh,
Yeah.
that's
It.
that is what they're developing, or they
Yeah.
have developed, or
From
however.
a lore perspective too, I do love how March's shard notes, oh, withdrawal. He's pulling, like the shard is like, oh, that shard is pulling juice from this planet we discovered. Ah, if only he knew what he really had, like kind of that, like, but again, getting back to that lore perspective, like I think you, Alan, or Jacob have mentioned how whenever there are powers is kind of the idea of like, but where does the energy to create that come from? And it's sort of this idea
Mm,
that the entities are pulling from alternate dimensions,
It's all
from alternate
portals.
reality. It's all portals, yeah.
yeah.
And so just kind of that
That.
allusion to that again is always fascinating of
Yeah.
like, oh, withdrawals juice, for lack of a better word, is like from another planet. It's not just like a random biological thing. It's literally like there's a pool of it somewhere on another planet that he's drawing from.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah. I mean, even for
it's a
thinker
shame we'll never
powers,
know what it does.
if you will allow me, like, even for thinker powers, you essentially have it could be biological, it could be, product of, the environmental, or it could be literally an AI server on another planet that is just,
Yeah.
or, just servers doing calculations that beams information through the worm portal via shard into somebody's head. And you're like, wow, how do the Harbinger boys do all that math? Where does that come from? It seems like it might even be more powerful than a human brain can handle. And it's like, well, because it's off sourced off planet, and then the energy gets beamed into there. And what is information if not, like, it can be downgraded into energy, and then
Right.
right into their brain. So, like, even thinker powers, like, it's all portals.
Hmm. Love it.
It's all portals. Yeah.
But any more on the bubbles and the shards?
In case I just missed it, but just to mention the cool bit of world building with the molluscoids planet
Oh,
that the shards visited
Yes.
yes.
prior.
That was fun.
Love
What was
that.
that in
They
reference
were
to?
a
That was
mile tall.
Yeah.
was that just
It
an
was
energy source is what they
I'm sh-
said?
I think they were just referencing uh certain interactions that the shard was kind of remembering from a previous cycle. Um I have to go back
Yeah.
and read it exactly.
I thought they built mile tall, like, things, but
They did. They built, but yeah, mile tall suits essentially in order to survive on that one planet so that they could breathe above
Mm,
like the gas
mm,
that
dang.
yeah.
encapsulated the planet.
Um, all
That's
right.
cool.
With all of that out of the way, let's let's talk about March, and then we will talk
Alan's
about
favorite part.
the writing in general.
Okay.
we've mentioned it before. We've read a comment, but I find March to be a generally uninteresting character who is kind of complete bullshit and has an ability, as one of the comments described on the thing, on the chapter when it was written, that hit. I felt the exact same way, but they said it first, which is, how is March just Contessa, but with the ability to explode anything?
Mm-hmm.
And complained about it before, but it really is just it's an uninteresting character who really wants to be cool, like expressly, like, oh, but they're gonna be so cool when they all, like, when I do this, and oh, at least Vista died in a cool way. And March just kind of is boring, and I don't
Yeah.
care. And we talked about how it's at the, like, even Vista's death, part of the writing aspect, like, it's not cool because it's abstracted, and this is some big event going on sideways to all the stuff that we are trying to care about. Like,
Yeah.
we're having a little trouble
This
with
is
this
off
over
on the
here. Why
side.
take us away from that to care about, or to bring us into the backstory, which is interesting. That's fine, as a lot of seeing behind the curtain on people are. But overall, I really, really have never liked March. And before, it was a vibes based thing, and now that I'm really examining it, I think it's just poor writing. So I open the
Well,
floor.
it's that too, and like you said, this is a sidebar from the main event, right? And I am invested in Cradle getting his ass whooped. Like, I
Mhm.
want to see that happen in the same way that, like, I was invested in seeing Coil get his ass whooped. I was invested in seeing Jack Slash get his ass whooped, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
was invested in those characters being taken down, and that is how I feel about Cradle. I'm like, "Oh, he an asshole. Like, he
Yeah.
gotta go,"
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And so to have then this interruption of March, who it does feel like is like, "Oh, don't forget March is this really dangerous villain." But it's like, "Well, wait a second. Why do I care about March? I haven't spent any time with her. She appeared at the Fallen fight, helping our side, kind of,
Yeah.
like, mostly. They helping our side mostly, and then just pieced out for a while, and now suddenly she's the biggest villain taking down the entirety of Brockton Bay. I even forgot, I was looking back through the arc, Narwhal was there too. Not even
Yeah.
Narwhal
Yeah.
could, like, Narwhal, Dragon Defiant, Golem, Vista. So many characters could not take down this one person. And yeah, it's like you said, it's like, oh, she is. And not only that, but this entire fight, in terms of practicality, this entire fight is taking place on the top of skyscrapers. As far as I know, March doesn't have a flying power.
Mhm.
Like, again, in terms of like BS fight scenes this is the one time I really understood where they were, and it felt like she just had like ninja powers, like crazy ninja
I
powers all of a
see. I didn't
sudden of
even get
like,
that. I thought they were
no,
on the
like
ground
they're
walking the city
literally
streets,
on
but
top
whatever.
of a building when
No.
Vista
Yeah.
dies. They're on
Yeah.
Yeah.
top of a skyscraper in Brockton Bay, and I'm like, I don't know if it's the weird environment thing, like, oh, maybe you can just run up the side of the skyscraper because it's all twisty from Vista. Sure,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know, like, but still,
Yeah.
I think it just felt, for it to be a character we really liked, it felt a bit cheap, I think, and unearned for her death.
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of little things. Like, again, to kind of go back to Taylor's fights, right, where she's getting beat up and sort of you see the exhaustion in her fights and all this kind of stuff. I think like it was one of the high praises of the early Netflix Daredevil series was like, oh, you can see them just like having to exhaust themselves in these fights. It's brutal, takes forever, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I think this was another comment at the end, but I like it too. It's like, does her power also have unlimited stamina? Is that part of it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how is she hanging on this long? Like, it's just for a story that is constantly in a world that kind of praises itself in a bit of realism in a really unrealistic world. Little things like that just sort of start to trip you up after a while, and it just sort of gets annoying to sort of read through a fight scene that doesn't really belong in compared to the
Yeah.
other fights we read about.
I'm trying to think too. I know that Wildbow has killed off characters quickly. I'm not saying that he hasn't ever done that before. But I'm trying to think, has he ever killed off a character, quickly or not, in a side story that we cared about? Like, I'm trying to think, is part of it just like this is the first time we've had a character we actually cared about killed in an aside, basically, right? Like in an interlude? Because I'm like, obviously, like, you
No.
know, some characters get killed really quickly. Like, you know, not I'm not saying like thinking about like
Yeah,
Kaiser, for
yeah, yeah.
example. Kaiser's death was really quick, but it was in the middle of the Leviathan fight, so it was like it was
Maybe
the
the
main story.
Maybe
closest would be
Slaughterhouse 9
well,
with
I mean, yeah, Accord died
Defiant.
in an interlude.
Accord died in an interlude,
Yeah.
but I don't know how much
I
we
don't know,
really
yeah.
cared
I mean,
about
Defiant
him.
and
Yeah.
Dragon all like come down and they've like killed, you know, Siberian and other people, and they're like hunting
Yeah.
down, you know,
Yeah, because we've
They're
had these
yeah.
kind
Blast's
of
lab. But they got like
yeah.
half the Slaughterhouse 9 gets murked off screen when they're chasing him down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's
even that kind of feels appropriate somehow, I guess, because I guess I'm thinking more of like a death that
Bakuda,
could be
Rand points out.
yeah, Bakuda.
And
Bakuda, yeah.
But Bakuda's a very like it's led up
Even
to, if you
Bakuda's death
will.
though, like, is led up to, right? Because it's a lung kills her, and it's like, "Oh, no, that makes sense, like, that fits." I guess I'm
Mhm.
thinking more of, like,
Yeah.
a death that should have some emotion behind it, not just, like, a character we are interested in. Like, Bakuda is interesting, but I don't emotionally care if she dies or not,
Yeah.
being killed
Right.
off in an interlude, you know?
Right.
And I guess that's more what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's a death I would have preferred from Victoria's POV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
That,
like,
yeah.
somebody should
Definitely.
have been there from the main cast to see this happen, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think we'll get that emotional hit
Oh,
probably
right. It's
later
coming.
when Victoria finds
Yeah,
out that
yeah.
like, oh, that's what happened.
It
And,
could
she goes full revenge mode about
yeah.
March.
It
But
could also be
the
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it could also be the Phantom Menace problem in that if you watch the Phantom Menace, you realize the movie has 4 endings happening simultaneously,
Yeah, right.
and you're like, "Wow, it's a lot happening all at once."
Yeah.
And it feels kind of
Yeah.
like that, where it's like we've got Cradle that Victoria's trying to deal with, but we don't wanna forget what's happening in Brockton Bay. We gotta follow up on that because that's really important too with March. And maybe it just feels like there's two arcs are happening, but we're only getting pieces of one of them. Not that I want Ward to be any longer, but, you know, if we'd had more time with the Brockton Bay people who are trying to protect Brockton Bay, maybe it would make more sense. I don't know.
Yeah. I definitely don't
Meh.
really well,
Yeah.
yeah.
What it comes
I
down
just
to ultimately is that March is boring. I agree with Alan there. March is kind of a boring villain, and I don't care about her like I
yeah.
care about Cradle.
I th-
Mhm.
I think so too. Like I really enjoy somebody said it in chat earlier, and also I was kind of thinking about this. Alan and I had a whole conversation in the kitchen earlier about this. But like I really like that kind of Joker type of character of this just like chaos for chaos's sake. I really enjoy like the Heath Ledger's Joker, and I really like Jack. I think Jack is really fun, and like a lot of his thought process and whatever. And I feel like March is supposed to also fall into that category of like chaos for chaos, but I don't find her interesting. It does feel like she's just kind of there. Like the chaos that Jack brought was very like calculated chaos in a way. And for someone who has such good timing, you would think that like March could be a similar way of that kind of calculated chaos of like, well, I have all the freedom in the world and the best timing to make it happen. Like I can do it. But I don't get that from her at all. I get this very like she's constantly like she throws herself out of a window and realizes, oh, I guess I didn't plan that this didn't work out the way that I thought. I guess I'm gonna die. And then laughs because what's her name snatches her out of the air. Like it doesn't feel yeah, I don't she's not interesting. And I think
No.
like
No.
she was more interesting when she was kind of this rogue element who jumped in to like help Rain figure out cluster stuff and they were all like, "Whoa, be careful with that, Rain." And like I think that that's more interesting as kind of this like rogue entity on the fringes of things than like the girl who busted the time bubbles and exploded Vista. Like that doesn't seem to make sense to me. It just doesn't. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Bringing up the Joker, a very good point. The Joker in The Dark Knight, as much as I don't like him, has a thing they're going for, which is like this destruction of systems.
Mhm.
Trying to basically draw out the worst of humanity. Very Jack Slash-esque. Um, and as Fadi points out, the Mark Hamill Joker specifically. Mark Hamill Jokers has one thing, and that's to essentially get Batman to, just get his goat, And
Yeah.
in this case, just replace the whole like Batman, love hate for Batman that Joker has with foil. And it kind of makes sense, but it's all this extra stuff that she's going out of the way. When she was just hunting down foil in and these cluster triggers, it feels much more directed. I like them keeping the Undersiders on the run. And when we talk about like what is our is because Fran points out that there's been a lot of buildup for her. I don't really think there has, not in terms of like actual exposure to her. We've seen her like hinted at when we talk about like, oh, she showed up and she talked to Rain off screen, in like one of his interludes, and then like she was at the Fallen compound. Okay, there's one. Two, like we get told all the way in arc 9 when the Undersiders are running from her because she shot Tattletale in the leg or something. So then the next time we see her is now?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, that's not
So
enough.
like 3 times.
She's
So,
been
like-
kind of a named boogeyman, but not really present.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's she's very aloof. It's great as an outer character, but as soon as we get into trying to skip straight to a large event that involves her as the central character doing who knows what type things, when her goal was very, well, we weren't sure, kind of specific. It was going after cluster people, very specifically Foil. If this was Foil's death, I still think it would have been unearned, or Foil's capture or whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's we like, because there's just, what the heck is this abstracted, oh my gosh,
Ian,
all of that.
Ian,
And I don't think
Go
her power in terms of timing makes sense as being strong enough when it comes to group dynamics. Like if everybody shoots a bullet at her from 15 different directions, like I don't care what your timing is.
Yeah.
Like I don't see you dodging the Gatling gun and 5 other powers coming at you, because you can only go, you move forward 5 steps, and by the time you try to talk to the next person to throw up a shield, they shoot you in the head. Like it really is an unbelievable amount of power given to a demonstrably minor character. Even if her power is timing, even if she has sting, we would not give Flechette this much. Like the only reason Flechette is as powerful as we know is because of a very specific instance that we developed through shooting all the Endbringers and then ultimately getting to, okay, but wait, this does actually do more than we think it does, even though we've been using it for the same reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the final blow, but that's 30 arcs of lead up,
Mhm.
and
Foil doesn't even get the final blow, technically. She just opens
Right.
the gateway
Yeah.
for the giant
Yeah.
gun.
Right.
yeah.
It's a team effort to kill Scion, right?
Yeah.
If March's timing was really so great, where was she at the Scion fight? Like, I mean,
That's funny.
Yeah.
she's really so unstoppable.
Yeah. I just
yeah.
I find it all to be unbelievable.
I think there's some good chat
Yeah.
moments here that I want to highlight before we move on. Ian notes that March is she's not interested or invested in the living world, so she's difficult to be interested or invested in for us, so that doesn't help. And then J-Man says, I actually think she had interesting elements, but not great setup and with bad execution, like a lot of things in Ward. So,
Yeah, she's the summation of, I think, of a lot of the little Ward problems. Like, yeah, interesting concept, some fun stuff to play with, and just really wasn't executed very well in terms of how she was developed.
We'll lightly touch on this because I really don't think there's much more to say about this, but as Truitt and Fran have both pointed out, the one thing they really don't like about this is that March is another one of the few canonically queer women who is a lesbian, and once again, she's
in
what, as we talked about with Tori, maybe in a predatory relationship, and also the bad guy.
Yeah.
Does Wildbow not like lesbians? Because damn. I mean, what other good role model queer women have we seen in
other
Ward
than Foil and Parian?
Foil and Parian.
And Parian. Oh, bless. Of course. How could I forget them?
Yeah.
They're adorable.
I'm trying to think.
Sure there's another, but
not that many. There's not that many queer people in Worm or Wildbow either.
Yeah. Which boy howdy
Worm or
does
Ward either.
I'm reading Pale, and boy howdy does our boy try to make up for that as hard as possible. And
bless him.
Pale.
I'm sure it's an innocent mistake. It's just
no. I don't think it's at all malicious. I think it just happens to be the case.
It's definitely
but it's one of those
gives
things
off
where, like,
strong.
Yeah.
Well, Narwhal's not. I don't know, but Narwhal, in my opinion, is the same way you treat all of the gods from Hades, in Hades 2, the video games, which is they just fuck. There's not really a sexuality other than that.
Right.
I think that's pansexual.
Like, who are they? They fuck. That's who they are.
Yeah.
What's your sexuality? Greek.
No. Yeah, Greek sexuality.
Greek.
Yeah, so Narwhal gets put on
hilarious.
God tier when it comes
Greek
to that.
God. What do you mean?
As if they would be limited by mortals.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Valid criticism. I don't think it's on purpose. But it is.
Yeah, no, I
still
don't.
valid.
Yeah. But it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
it is still valid.
With all of that, a finish on the just another thing I've come to having read Pale and having read Worm and Ward now, which is Worm. I still think has the best plotting of all of them. Now that I've read up to Pale, that's all of through Twig, and the others I've already forgotten. Twig, Pact, Pale, Word, and Worm. Worm is just the tightest story. And in terms of like making sure everything is everything is like tied back together. It has a plot, and I know from what I've heard is that Wildbow had the most time for planning on that one. He wasn't
Makes
writing.
sense.
I'm sure he was writing, but he wasn't writing anything big that taking up most of his brain power and whatnot, before he moved into the next one. So he had the most prep time for that. However, I know that some people say his writing gets better, and I feel like there is aspects of his writing that gets better. Teamwork, complexity. He was already a complex writer, but I think he does a very good job. However, I think his writing gets worse every single time. He, as I've talked about in the, we each have spoiler chats for, ones we're reading and whatnot. Pale, you could, for some chapters, knock out 9 out of 10 paragraphs and nothing would change in your reading because it's just useless words. It's an amazing amount of useless words and paragraphs. And you could say like, oh, but it's important. I'm like, no, it's not. I've skipped whole pages and nothing. And I went back, I was like, oh, maybe I missed something. And the answer is, no, you don't. You don't miss anything. You don't miss anything by skipping 1 or 2 pages in some of those arcs.
Alan's been waiting to talk
There's
about
entire
this.
chapters you might be able to skip, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I still really enjoy the overall story, but coming back from that, which is, the one after Ward, I come back to Ward, and it's not nearly as bad. But there's a lot of just superfluous paragraphs. And if this is all part of just the experiment of him writing to just, he takes his pen, he doesn't do a whole lot of editing because obviously how could you? And he just writes down and he writes, brain to paper, what he's got, semi-plotted out. Then as an experiment, that's great. But by the time we've gotten to Ward and Pale, as I'm reading, it's been more than 5 years. You would think that, not eloquation, but like his ability to say what he wants to say in the, like, in a non-superfluous amount of words would have been a skill that he has improved upon. And he has just gotten worse.
I wonder if that's just a product of the web serial ness of his writings, where he's driven more by needing to release a certain amount of words every week or so, right? And so that's the driving factor with how he writes. I'm speculating, as opposed to like, okay, let me complete this idea, where, oh, hey, that was only 1,000 words to complete the idea, but I need to release 5,000 words. So, again, I don't know how his brain works, but I would imagine that probably plays a factor in it. I wonder how that's changed over time.
I really am interested in hearing his like his shorter stuff that he's released. Claw, and I think still doing Seek. Maybe I'll be honest, I've lost track of the more up to date ones, but I know Claw at least is a shorter one. How that fares in comparison. And part of this is something that we have discussed with Brandon Sanderson, where Brandon Sanderson, while he does write a lot, and I do think there are sometimes it gets a little bit more than necessary, generally it's good. It's good writing and can be a lot, but whatever. And then we got to his newest book in the Stormlight Archives. It is, of course, bigger than I think it's like 700,000 words or something like that. It's, it's a stupid amount for a book. But that's to be expected. And however, as we discussed, it was an incredibly fluff book. There is...
It was. He needed a better
basically
editor.
nothing happens in that book except at the very beginning and the very end. And as Nick pointed out to me, I was like, what is wrong with this book? Why did nothing happen for 700,000 words or however many it was? And Nick, you told me that sadly, his editor that he's had for all of his other stuff passed away. And so now he has a team of editors or whatever to keep up with his writing because he writes so much and so fast. And the feeling that they might have been, and this is not like he's Brandon Sanderson, so it's kind of hard, but maybe a more yes men than critical, like his previous editor had been. There was a lot of reeling that in. And without that, the work really suffers. And I think that it would, Wildbow doesn't have that. Editing's part of the lack of editing, rather, is part of the process of a serial. It is just amazing, and not amazing, that's sarcastic. I am disappointed to find that as time goes on, he does not know how to say what he wants to say in a concise fashion.
I agree with you. I would also, as you were talking, I was thinking about it and kind of the idea that like you do see it with authors. Al and I were talking about the whole thing about one of the great things about traditional publishing is that you have a team of people that you can throw your books off of. You have your publisher who puts their logo on everything. You have a team of editors. You usually have your literary agent. There's a whole process of people. And the goal is that they're there to help you craft your book until it's perfect, ready to go out onto market. And with self-publishing or with doing a web serial like this, like you don't have that team of people. And so I feel like Wildbow has pretty hardcore people who read, every time he posts new something, and then the comments go off. But like even then, with their help with some editing stuff and spelling, whatever, like that's a lot that's coming out all at once. And no one is holding him to any kind of like, oh, you need to be meeting, you need to be doing this in order to make your book publishable. Like he does what he wants. He writes what he wants and he puts it out there. And other than like small edits like spelling stuff, he doesn't edit stuff really. And I think that there can be pros and cons to that. But like as you were talking, Alan, I was thinking about it of like, we read certain writers because of what we like about them. Like, oh, I really like reading so-and-so because of their characters or because of their world building or whatever. It's like Wildbow just likes to go off like Brandon Sanderson. And I feel like if I skip something, I've missed something major. And I mean, I haven't read anything else other than Worm and Ward, obviously, but like I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't like when you go on and on and on so much. But with the web serial format as it is, like it works for him and it works for most of the readers.
Yeah.
But I think, well, to wrap what I was saying up, just that I think that my problem isn't him going on and on and on, because he did that with Worm. My problem is that there feels like there's a lack of focus and plotting with Ward that I think makes the story feel more kind of rambly, where we're like, I'll say me. I feel like and I'm not as connecting as much to the story or the people or whatever. And it's like, I think that I feel that way with Worm because the plot felt tighter, I guess. And I didn't mind it because I felt like I knew what was happening.
It does to go back to something Jacob said. I think there is something to maybe realizing, the web serial format, you're sort of looking for a certain word count per submission, right? To give your readers the feeling like, okay, this is worth my time. I'm committed to this. This is enough content for me. It is sort of the content bloat in a way, maybe, of Worm did feel like it was written from an outline, but from like a complete outline, maybe. Whereas Ward has felt like more like it's an incomplete outline. And so to Jacob's point, I can easily see somebody writing into this and being like, oh, this is what I wanted to happen in Arc 12. Man, I just wrote out all of Arc 12 in a single chapter. I need to branch this out more. Like I need something to happen. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know if that's the case. Again, I've not written a true web
Mhm.
serial in the sense that I'm trying to publish something every week, so I have no idea the pressure that comes with that.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, I can't even imagine. I can't even
but
imagine. Like,
but I can't imagine it's a little bit too of maybe just I don't know. I find, to counter Alan's point, I find that oftentimes the longer I write on the same thing, the more bloated it gets. And I wonder if it's almost like overworked dough, where like Ward is just
mm,
he just keeps going and going and going and is like, I don't really know when I'm gonna stop or where this is gonna go, but I'm just gonna keep going. People are along for the ride if they want to be, and here we are. And so
mm,
it does
yeah.
feel all that to say it does feel a little bit more bloated and a little bit more just like I don't know. It feels more directionless than Worm did too. I think we kind of alluded to that earlier as well. I I don't quite know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's just the vibes are
It
off, and
it
I'm
has
not
a lot
enjoying it
of
as much.
we've actually talked about I think we may have even made this exact comparison before, but it just feels relevant again. It feels like the Legend of Korra problem, where the creators
Mm,
of
Mhm.
Korra
Mhm.
weren't guaranteed future seasons, so they couldn't write an overarching narrative. They had to contain everything to a season at a
mm,
time, unlike Avatar, Last Airbender, and
Mhm.
that like Core is good. It's fun. It's a good watch. Fans like it, but you feel the lack of that
Yeah.
larger cohesive story that's being told.
mm,
Really negatively impacts the overall show. And there feels like a lot of that in Ward, where we're just sort of lacking that overall narrative. Like I'm enjoying
Mhm.
the bits and pieces and the stories and the characters and the world building and the interactions and the fights. Like individual elements of it are fun, and I'm having fun and a good time reading it. But the amount of time we put into it with so little accomplished is it just drags. It gets really uh sloggy.
mm.
Yeah.
Well, don't despair yet
To
because to soften Alan's opinion, all of chat disagrees with his later works. So we'll see how we all feel when we get there. You know what I
That's
mean?
okay.
there you
We'll
go.
see.
As
Yeah.
Truett points
We're
out,
used to
writing and
disagreeing with that one.
plotting
Not a problem.
are different. I think, as I've said, his ability to write characters does improve. I think his ability to write complex systems is incredibly interesting, and
Amazing.
uh, it's good. I'm not. He bites more deep, maybe not complex. I know that's a weird way to describe it, but he writes deeper systems, and his complexity stays just as complex as and good as it always has. Um, his characters are deeper and more complex. Their ability to the dynamic that characters have so much better. His plotting though, and with that, his writing meanders and like so much more in Twig and Pact
Mm,
is not as bad. I think it's closer to Worm, but can start at Worm and you can just trail downhill in terms of like where the plot goes, um, and like where it ends up at the end. Like it just, we'll see how Pale goes, but right now Pale is just. It's not a matter of. It's not even a matter of the big story, although that I do have problems with that, and I'm enjoying reading it. It's just randomly there's just whole chapters that are and it's paragraph by paragraph where so many paragraphs just aren't necessary and they don't need to be in there.
mm,
Fran, I will be checking out Claw if it's the least bloated work, and I'm interested in seeing what he looks like in a tight. I forget how many arcs it is, but I think it's like what 7, 8 arcs. Who knows? Um,
Yeah.
for Hannah, um, asking uh, from Vati,
Can I
as someone who
can
is
I really quick before you read that? What are we reading after Ward? What is the plan? Is Pact next after Ward?
I think we should figure that out.
Okay.
But
I didn't know if we had determined what was next after Ward.
No, I don't think there's
I-
any
No, not
specific
really. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
track.
Go ahead, Alan.
um, from Vati, question for Hannah. As someone who is published 2 stellar books and working on a third, how does Wildbow's approach to writing and plotting differ from yours?
First of all, Wildbow's a beast. I could never write as much as Wildbow writes. I dream of being able to write like that because be able to churn out so much so fast on a regular schedule, it takes the most immense amount of dedication that I honestly I do not have at all. That's really nice of you to say that they're stellar books. Thank you so much. I don't know what Wildbow's writing process is exactly, but I can tell you mine is not anywhere near close to writing that much every week like that. The Black Crown I wrote a lot faster because I wrote it in a year. I was on a mental deadline that I'd set for myself. And I still feel, looking back, like it needed so much more work. And like, yeah, no, looking at how many drafts I go through and looking at how many drafts Wildbow goes through, the stuff that he's putting out and the complexity of the systems are like insane for the amount of stuff that he's turning out like that. And I went through Black Crown. Well, I'll tell you, Black Hand went through 15 drafts before I published it, and Black Crown went through 8, I believe. And that's with a ton of beta readers and an editor, and rounds of beta readers, actually. So yeah, I mean, I definitely don't come close to the kind of output that Wildbow has. Like that, yeah, no, not in the same league at all. But like, I mean, the thing that I learned with writing the Black Crown was consistency. Like, if you are gonna write a book, you have to be consistent. And like, Wildbow has shown that with everything that he's written, because he stays consistent. He's posting consistently. And having that kind of like accountability was how I got through, was how I finished the Black Crown in a year, because I was writing weekly with a friend. We got on every Wednesday and every Saturday, and we wrote for at least 2 hours each of those days. And that's the only way I would have finished that book. Otherwise, no. And I'm still working on book 3, and I took a lot of time off this year because I rushed through the Black Crown so quickly and burned myself out. And so I mean, the Black Kingdom probably won't be out until 2027, end of 2027. So, yeah, no. I have criticisms about Wildbow, but not when it comes to his output. Holy moly.
Well,
I will say your writing from book 1 to book 2, I think, is much tighter.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I think it reads a lot better than the first book. Not the first book's bad, but like book 2 was like, oh shoot, like I thought it was an improvement from the first
Very
book,
nice
like,
of you to
visibly
say.
so.
Well, book 1 also was originally really long, and I cut it back. I cut about 50,000 words out, which I mean, compared to Wildbow, that's like one chapter. Anyways, yeah.
Bernard,
They are
to
both
answer,
phenomenal books too, as well. Just to add on to that, as one of your
thank
beta
you.
readers, I really enjoyed the
Nick
being a
was one
part
of
of
my
the
beta
process.
readers. He had amazing feedback.
Bernard, to answer your
you.
question, I have been reading the essays and detachments thanks to our patrons for telling me to do that. Otherwise, I was just skipping right by those because I didn't even know they were a thing. But apparently I'd only skipped like 2 when they told me. A big congratulations to, I believe, Truitt, who got a double bingo. Cat on screen. Jacob makes his movie TV comparisons. How many are in the Goddesses cluster? Michael wrangling them in, as well as Alan ranting, Goddess cluster, Mark Chiz bullshit, and someone had to check whether they were reading the right chapters.
Let's go.
Yeah, other ones, because we're just going to finish this out. Other ones that were on there, were arguing whether March is cool or not, anger about Vista's death, confused over what the hell is happening. And then the ones we didn't get is this the peak of the story? Hannah crying, milk, someone other than Hannah cries. Actually, Nick did a pull of milk earlier, so we can actually
I
mark
did
that
pull a
one.
milk.
Milk definitely
Is
counts.
Prancer on some
It
bullshit?
didn't feel genuine.
Yeah, is Prancer on some bullshit, which I do think could be marked off as well. And Nick goes full teacher.
Well, if we need a little milk
Um,
comment, Vic did call out Alan. He said maybe Alan's just a hater. Ever since the milk incident, he's changed.
I was drinking cider today. Thank you very much.
Since
Just
the
You
milk
made me
did.
laugh so
You
much.
did.
Good old apple cider.
Oh gosh.
J-Man asks, how can you
J-Man.
find those books?
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. So the first 2 books in my trilogy, The Black Hand and The Black Crown, are available where all books are sold. They're on Kindle Unlimited. They are available through Kindle, Amazon, Thrift Books, Barnes and Noble. You can get them wherever books are sold.
You can
And then
request them from your local library or from your local
Oh,
store.
you
as well.
can. You can request them from, if you have a local bookstore near you, that's not a chain. You can go in and you can request them, and they will special order them. They're available in paperback and hardcover. Oh, wait. Hold on. I have a special shelf. So, these books, first of all, freaking gorgeous. My artist who did them, Evena Joptic, crushed it. She did the most beautiful artwork for both of them. This is the first one.
Frozen, of
This is the
course.
second one. Really gorgeous, really beautiful.
Try that one more
and-
time. You were frozen.
It wasn't frozen on
I
my
was frozen.
I
No, not for
I-
me.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'll
they're
hold
just
it
for
up
you,
again
Michael.
just in case.
well, my
Here they
perspective is
are.
what everyone sees.
That's true.
Fair.
But yeah. So
There we go.
you
That
can
worked.
find
That
me
worked. That
under.
worked. There we go.
Okay, good. My author name is H.M. Reinhardt. So.
You can link it in the
H.
chat right
Rod
now too if you
and
want,
stuff.
Hannah. Before we get off.
Oh, I could. Oh my
yeah.
God, you guys, I'm gonna do it.
Last things, we're gonna skip the powers because I don't really think we introduced any new ones.
The only one I
Um,
want to call out there is Ixnay, who has the joke power we've talked about, where you're invisible if you don't look at them directly.
Yes.
So
Good call out. Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
that's
Good-
the only
good-
one I
good-
wanted
good
to
one to
mention. That is
I
Ixnay.
forgot that
Oh
was.
my
And
gosh.
also can freeze stuff, I think. Ixnay is confusing.
Yeah,
But
that's
at least
funny.
has that, which I thought was
it
funny.
just goes like no.
Yeah.
All right, and
I don't know if I can put this.
oh, Bernard
I don't know if
points
I
out
can put
Kindle
this in.
Limited is U.S. and UK and not in Singapore.
Oh,
Amazon person still thinks Singapore is in China. So
Oh, Singapore.
my
is,
God.
We're gonna.
You know what, Bernard?
Oh,
Bernard,
Amazon.
if you want to read The Black Hand, you let me know. I'll find a way to get you a file. I'll find a way to get it to you. I can't. I'm stupid, and I don't. Hold on. Let me. Hold on one second.
while
Take your time.
while she's
We've
figuring
got
that out,
announcements. You're
Michael,
fine.
what is next on our announcement?
Okay, so exciting. We are going to do a community event in 2 weeks where you all get to hang out with us, and we're going to do something new to the Brockton Bay Book Club. We're going to try and do some live gaming with everyone who wants to. We might do some, depending on what we decide, we might also read fanfic, but we're not sure. But we're just going to do a hangout session. And you are all invited. If you're on the Patreon, we will all be in the chat, and you can join the chat, and we can all hear you live if you want. And if not, if you're not in the Discord because you're not a patron, you will still be able to join. We will have the ways to join the games, probably Jackbox games and things like that, so that it's easy for everyone to join with just a room code, and you don't get to be in chat with us, but we'll still have the normal live stream chat. You just won't be in Discord. So,
Or you could just cough up $1, get in the patron Discord.
or you can come
you know.
hang out in there for $1. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, what if we played the board game? We could play as many people as we
There's a
want.
lot of different
That's
options
chaos.
of games.
Among Us.
We could play Among Us.
As
We could,
always.
yes.
Oh,
there's a
what day
lot.
is that going to be on, Michael?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It'll be on Tuesday again, the 27th. So that's in 2 weeks. And we are excited for this new kind of just chill, get to know each other community event where we all get to connect more. And yeah, just have a fun time. We haven't tried anything like this. Let us know your ideas, especially if you're a patron. What you want to do, what you want to see, what you would like to play. And we have some ideas, so don't worry about that. But if there's something specific,
Chat,
let us know.
Just so you know, it's because we're still traveling around for holidays and stuff. It's not like this is going to be like we're moving to once a month reading.
Oh, no.
No,
This is,
not at all.
it's
This
actually,
is a
I think
weird.
it's mostly work stuff for people who have conferences and things.
Work for me.
I was trying to give them an out, Michael, but that's fine.
It's work for me. I've
that
got
is an
work
out.
stuff.
That is
I'm
an
the
out.
working man.
It's important.
I must do work things.
We
Will
don't
it
want-
be recorded?
Yeah, it'll be a live stream just like normal, so you'll get to watch it back after the live is ended, just like normal. It'll just be on the main channel. Everyone can join the live stream, but instead of talking about what we've read, we're going to hang out and play some games and stuff. Yeah, we're still going to finish Arc 12, just not in 2 weeks because Nick and Hannah potentially won't be able to join. But we didn't want to do an off week and have you guys waited even longer to hang out. So we figured let's hang out and have fun.
Yeah, and I will be at some point in time. Maybe I'll make it just next Tuesday at the same time. Working, play the rest of Dispatch, the Picket playthrough.
Oh, yeah. That's super
so
funny.
I've probably got
Yes.
2 more sessions in me. I went and started playing my own playthrough as well with Hannah because I was just like, I love this. I need to
It
play
was
this
very
again.
fun. I've enjoyed it immensely thus far.
But we need to finish that, and we also have our anime thing to finish. So maybe we'll clean that up. You know.
Yeah.
Our anime thing, Alan? Our?
Look,
Ow.
I wanted to do it by myself because I knew it was going to take a while, and I had it like down to like an hour and something, like just like me like banging it out as quickly as possible. And then you like, oh, but we should all do it together. And I was like, okay, if you want this to take 3 hours, it's taking more than 3 hours now. I was just gonna make that a
Alan,
one and
we
done.
just-
Like, hey guys, 40 minutes. I'm just gonna go bang, 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 bang. But
No,
instead,
we have
it's now a
comments,
whole
Alan.
series.
How are we
We have
going
comments.
to make sure everyone read the hidden session in Arc 12?
I have no idea what the hidden session is.
Please elaborate,
So-
Bernard.
Well, unless spoilers, you
yeah,
could
unless
somebody would
spoilers.
elaborate in the
Don't
ward
elaborate
spoilers chat.
please.
Yeah.
I have
or-
no idea what this
Is it a spoiler? Is it...
I mean, it's hidden.
There's a hidden something? Arc 12?
Is it? Just remember to
Just remember to
read
read
and
slash
listen
till
listen
the end.
until the
Okay,
end.
yeah, we'll read
the
all
end of
Okay.
arc
Yes.
Okay.
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
End of Arc
Which
12.
we'll
Okay.
we'll be doing.
We always
Right.
read everything for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
problem. no
Yeah,
problem.
It's not like hidden in comments or something, right?
If it's a
I
normal part of
normally
the
don't read
arc, we will
comments.
read it.
Try
100%.
not to.
All right.
Don't skip the
Don't
outro.
skip the
Okay, thank you.
outro.
That's all
Will
we
do.
need.
Ah, this is
We
one of
will do
those
that.
Yuri on
Absolutely.
Ice. They start to put stuff at the end after the credits.
I have a
Mm.
feeling that most of our feelings towards this half of this
The
arc
end.
are going to be changed at the end of the
We'll
once we
see.
finish.
yeah,
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like there's
Some of
gonna be
these
a
are
lot.
structural issues.
Well, yeah, some of them, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Also, I love the TTs in chat. Thank you, thank
TTs
you.
Yeah,
in
it
chat.
makes me so happy.
All right.
All right.
Oh, real quick before we close out,
Yes.
if you haven't already and you want to, we have merch.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Oh shoot,
Look at that.
Nick, what are you
Brockton
even
Bay
doing?
T-shirt,
Oh,
tees.
I'm
And,
in color.
we
I'm in
have-
color, I guess. I
Nick
forgot.
Nick is partially sick, guys. Don't be mean to him.
I am also a little ill.
We have the Brockton Bay Book Club logo T-shirt that I'm wearing, and then we have the Brockton Bays sweatshirt that Jacob and Michael are wearing right now. And I want you all to know there is more coming. I am currently
Hey.
in the works
Cool.
designing a book club bingo t-shirt with all of your favorite bingo
Oh, no.
things. And if there's a specific item
Nice.
you'd like on the bingo card that you just have to include,
Oh,
don't
that's awesome.
worry. Milk is on the bingo card.
It better be.
We
Fantastic.
will
Why?
let me know.
As it
It'll
should
go
be.
on the shirt. And
As
then
it
we're also
should
working
be.
on stickers, and I kind of want to do some like something really fun, maybe like a hoodie or something, but we're still working on the kinks.
What about
So,
Black
yeah.
Hand merch?
Oh my
That is
gosh. Okay. I have no Black Hand merch. Sorry.
Well, yes. Problems to solve. Michael, do you have a song to play us out?
Let's go ahead and play out.
Song?
All right. Thank you so much for all being here. We love all of you. Thanks to our patrons. And Michael.
Join the Patreon, please come on and join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come support us and join the Patreon. Please help us and join the Patreon. We have fun, join the Patreon. It's great, yeah, join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come on, come on.
Consider signing up for our Patreon. It would be my pleasure to have you.
Hey, all right. We will see you on the
Very good.
27th for a community hangout time. Let us know if you're part of the Discord, what you want us to do, and we can't wait to see you all there.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy
Michael's not the longest we've ever
2026.
been.
It's pretty long. 3 hours and 9 minutes right now. Pretty
He said
good.
it couldn't be done.
Bye.